Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jez7780 here. What grinds my gears? And I'm here with another Gaming Grindhouse, episode 27. The Media Insiders. I'm a made man. I'm an insider. What's going on, everybody? Yo, crazy weekend. I had some crazy weekend. I was like falling down. I was like, I don't know if I should do a show. Maybe I'll do the Tuesday. But we'll see. I have the Grindhouse doors open. Shout out to everybody that's showing up. Sam Ash, Game Night Pub. What's up, Gadget? Buck Roger. Yo. Perfect timing. Thank you. Hey, man. That's what I figured. You know, I got stayed in my time. I know last week we shifted because I had with the holiday. So I was like, you know what? I got to stay on schedule. The grinders demand the schedule. So I'm going to keep it. You know, I got to make sure I don't want to shift it again because it's kind of crazy this weekend, man. I'm getting some crazy storms here, man. There are just the lightning flashing all over the place, thunder, tons of rain. So I'm just like, I don't know. I was like, I hope the stream don't cut out. So if it does cut out, it's not the Phil Ness. It's the lightning. It's Thor. That's who it is. It's the lightning and the thunder. That's what it is. Yeah, I gotta watch King Thrash's video. Yeah, I gotta check that thing out. But man, I've been listening to some shows, watching the Twitter. I've been really busy over the weekend though, so I really haven't been, trying to grab the topics and put some stuff together. Some stuff is going down. People are still talking about some crazy things. I tell you, man, I don't know. It's July. That's all I gotta say. It's July of gaming season. This is the dry period. This is when you see the haystacks going flying, the hay bales are going around. That's what this is. This is July. This is the tough times. Last year, I wanted to punch my hand through the screen last year because of like just the anticipation of these next gen consoles and at least we had some console launches announcements to get hyped for. But now, it's like we don't have a Halo release date. We don't have a Horizon release date. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we waiting for? But this is July. Oh yeah, we'll be talking about insiders, the PlayStation events in August. Yeah, we'll talk about these friggin' insiders. But anyway, hit that like button as you're coming in here. I have the door, but I don't know if Frog was busy this weekend. Again, I was so busy, I'd even know what was going on, man. It was a birthday weekend, so for my son, so we were just getting ready and family over and all that stuff. So it was just a wild time. Today was my recoup day, and I just like crazy. But I did see Black Widow. Awesome movie. Awesome. They did such an awesome job with that. I really enjoyed Black Widow. No spoilers, but man, they are building a really cool future from what I see, from what I'm thinking about. But yeah, and then Loki has been awesome as well. So I've been watching those two. And Loki, I'm excited for the for Wednesday for the finale for that one. But yeah, I haven't played the Scarlet Nexus, Sam Ash. I have not tried it. I have so many games that it's just like I gotta finish. I gotta finish Ratchet and Clank. I gotta finish Returnal. Like I have to. I've been every time I get on there, I'm playing a planet or so of Ratchet, and then I do and then I play like a bunch of NHL. I play, get my season. I play that, and then I play some Call of Duty. Frog's been on Call of Duty. We've been playing that a lot. That's been fun. And then then I got all those games that just dropped in the with some just checking out the upgrades and stuff. But the thing is that I kind of just want to play next gen games, and that's kind of goes to this whole upgrade thing that we'll be talking about. But I just want to play I'm just tired of playing I don't know. I want some new stuff. But I know I haven't played tons of the I still gotta finish Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding. I have to finish those games, and with these upgrades that'll be good. But I just got so many friggin' games backlog. I got tons of backlog, man, because I try to just I milk it too. I don't just grind it out. You think because I'm grinds my gears, I'll just grind out these games? I really don't. I play an hour of this one. I play an hour of this one. Play an hour of this, and I jump around and stuff like that. So I experience my games like that. But yeah, I have to. I want to be committed to that. So I don't want to buy any new games yet. But I'm trying to finish them up. I gotta finish these up. And Ride 4, really? Oh, that's that motorcycle racing game, right? That's that motorcycle racing game there. But yeah, doing that. So, just plugging away at Ratchet and Clank. And then, once I finish that, I'm definitely going to, I got to get to that fourth boss in Returnal. And then, yeah, just jumping on that Call of Duty and playing, Metro Exodus too. I've been playing that a lot. And I mentioned Chivalry too. But Metro Exodus, I've been playing that, going through that game. I tell you, they did a good job on that. And, with the sound and the rumbles and things like that, and the graphics, it looks definitely better. Like, it still looks like an older game, but the lighting and everything is definitely better. And yeah, I have to see what's coming out in July. Like, I know, like, as you heard, like, I did get some. I do have my free month of Game Pass. I have another one for a free month, but I'm going to probably play Ascent. Maybe I'll do some streaming with that stuff. With the Ascent, I really don't even want to try Flight Simulator, but I don't know. That seems like a waste of downloading to download so much stuff just to go, oh yeah, it looks nice, and then delete it, because that will probably not hold my attention at all. As long, like, I remember people, you couldn't even, it's so hard to land in that game, nonetheless take off with all the real toggles. Like, people think it's gonna play like friggin' Ace Combat, like I'm just gonna hit R2 and just basically just like, oh, it's just gonna take off. No, man, you need to like, you need to like really know what you're doing. It's a simulator, so just getting the plane off the ground is gonna be an ordeal. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's right. Sergeant got it. That's why I titled it the way it is. It's BS Insider Month mode. Yeah, exactly, dude. It is like, it's grind. That's why I was like, I got to do a show. I got to talk about this stuff because that's the main topic. So what? You know what? Without further ado, this might be a Grindhouse Bachlor edition, but we got the grinders in here. Hit that like button. Share out the video. Grinds My Gears is here. We're gonna have fun, and let's go to the Grindsboard. We got some topics. Let's go. And boom. So here we are, Grindsboard topics. Yes, I added a couple of topics because that's some of the things that I did watch. But man, go Italia. Man, Italia. What a friggin' match that was. Those penalties were crazy. It was awesome. That was some awesome soccer right there. Yeah, we were watching outside at the party. It was wild, and it went down to the last second, down to the last the penalties, and yeah, it was some great soccer going on there. So, go Italia! Bring out the Long Island iced teas, hey! It was awesome. Awesome soccer, man. But yeah, I heard there's some controversy too that they put some young kickers in there. I think it was like his first soccer, like some young kickers to take these very high pressured shots for the penalties, and I think there's some criticism there for England. I saw some of that controversy. And speaking of controversy, yo, what's up, Neil? How you doing? Speaking of controversy, man, oh man, break a leg UFC. Did you guys see that fight? Oh my god, that was crazy. I was so excited when they were holding each other's heads and just like punching each other and stuff. Like, it looked like a freaking it looked like a comment. I'm like, look at these guys. They hate each other. Man. But my goodness, man, when he broke that leg, I could not watch that anymore. I was like, oh my god, I cannot watch that leg snap. But man, he must have. They're saying today that that McGregor, he basically, when he kicked him and he checked him with his elbow, like he checked it with the elbow, that's where it broke, and then it splinted there, and then when he waited on it, it just cracked. And he fell back. But man, when he was like calling out his wife and stuff like that while he's laying there down with a broken leg, and like, you fell back on it, you broke it, and he's still talking shit, man. It's wild. Those guys, I think it's funny. I saw a funny tweet. Somebody's like, Logan Paul is gonna fight him. He's gonna be fighting the Paul brothers soon. That's where he's gonna be, because I don't know. He's definitely gonna do rehab, leg, and all that other stuff. So who knows if they're gonna fight again? But I'm sure they will. But anyway, that was just a wild fight. There was a lot of hype behind it, and it was brutal. Oh man, it was brutal. They were beating the shit. Like, they were like, I was excited to see a round 2, because that round was crazy. Like, I thought I thought McGregor had him in the choke, and then like he got out of it, and then he was on the ground, and he was just the elbows, man. When they were throwing, he was just like elbow in the back of the head, and then the part he got where McGregor grabbed the glove to try to hold him down to kick him, and that's when he pulled away. That's when they separated him. He stood up. That's when he did the kick, he hit with the elbow, and then he went back, broke, and fell. Crazy. He's a clown. He's a clown, man. You fall there, you had the broken leg on the ground, and you're still like talking shit. I don't know, man. It is just insane. That was insane. Break a leg, and the leg was broke. But it was a wild fight. It was a wild weekend, man, in sports. As we talk about the sports. And know what else would be wild, too? One more subscriber to hit 900. If you're new here, hit that sub button. Be the 900 person live to call in. The live subscriber, 900 grinder. It's been teetering around 900 for the last couple of days. But as a plug, hey, if you're new here, hit that sub button. Let me know. Maybe you'll get the Arnold voice.
Get your mother, please.
Oh, damn. He says, get your mother, please. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Be the 900 subscriber on our way to 1,000 grinders. So, number 3, I did the State of Play review. We're going to quick because it's the Grindhouse. This is the Soul Grindhouse, the Bachelor show. State of Play review. Okay, so I watched the State of Play, and I didn't do a live reaction to it. I was just, here, I'll bring this over here. There you go. I didn't do a live reaction to it because these free game hits with a broken leg. Oh, I spelled that Horizon wrong? Yeah, I wrote it fast. I'm sorry. Thanks, MK. Thank you, MK. Yes, I wrote it fast because you know what's funny is I had Forza 5 and I was like, oh wait, it has to be Forza Horizon. I wrote it fast, and thank you for that. But yeah, sorry. The Grindsboard is rough. It's built with fire and brimstone, and there will be spelling errors on that thing. Sorry about that. Hey, what's up, the Floyd? How you doing? So, damn, lightning is flashing. Lightning is flashing all over my house. Holy crap. But, man, so, there's only one Horizon, yes. I know when they say Horizon, I'm like, oh yeah, Forza Horizon.
Whatever your name is.
What?
Get ready for the big surprise.
What? Social Destruct is the 900 subscriber. What's up? Thank you very much. Social, thank you so much, man, for the subscription. What is up? And Social, actually, being a 900 subscriber, definitely submit me a topic down in the chat, and we will talk about it. If you don't have a topic that's on the Grindsboard, being that 900 sub, thank you again. Hit that. Arnold yelled in my ears. Get the hell out of me. But yeah, definitely put a topic suggestion in there. I will discuss it, and we'll see if Lincoln Frog join in here. But, yeah, so the State of Play. So I'm going to tell you something, guys. And I probably, first let me talk about the State of Play. So the thing is like, they said what it was. It was indies, and it was a showcase of Deathloop. Okay, so from what I watched of Deathloop, and which I'm going to recommend definitely something. Thank you, Sam Ash. I'm definitely going to recommend something to watch. I've been watching some G4 stuff. Like, they're back. Like, they're back with the YouTube channel. And Adam Kessler and... on the road, that's right, Sergeant. We're on the road to 1K grinders. Put in the pool, put in the addendum. I'm putting we're gonna put the party room in the back. We gotta add another party room to the Grindhouse. We'll get that 1,000. But thank you again, 900, baby. Awesome. So I watched G4, and they were really hyping up the Deathloop and talking about how the mechanics work, and how when you die, you failed your mission. You're supposed to kill 8 hits on a map, right? Thank you, Alfonso. Thank you so much. You're supposed to do like 8 hits, and then the 1 hit is actually hunting you, right? So, and that could be either computer controlled or a human controlled person. And the thing is that I wanted to see more of that on the loop. But that's right, Gadget. Like I just it looked too much like seeing too much of it. It reminded me too much of the too much of Dishonored 2. Dishonored 2 was good for the time. Like I liked it. I just don't know how long it's going to hold my attention. It looked very similar with a fresh coat of paint. Definitely more guns than a Dishonored, but it definitely has that similar art style and animation to it, and the sneaking around. I'm just like still waiting on Deathloop. I don't know. And when they say 8 hits, I'm like, are there multiple maps? Like, I feel that I want to know more about the content of it and know about it. It definitely it looked a little bit. What's up, JCat? How you doing? Definitely looked a little more Dishonored than I thought. Like seeing it like fully played through again. So I don't know. I'm holding off on Deathloop. Like it wasn't the showpiece that I think. Like it's interesting, and G4 actually they were really talking it up, and they were really really excited about it. And you know what? And definitely it's the next game that's coming out, but I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna sell. Sales wise, I don't know. But like the thing, and not even sales, but yeah. Tex Mex Morty says he uses frogs when it comes to Arcane. And yeah, that's right, Sam Ash. When I heard about the whole loop and like when they die and then okay, well that's a failed mission. Go back through it again, and you got to kill your hits and you got to go back, but you keep some of the money with you that allows you to upgrade, similar to Returnal. Like I think that's the other problem, Sam Ash, is that mechanism of repeating and redoing for like replayability. I think Deathloop hit the nail right on the head with it. The way it randomized everything and the gameplay was on point. This one looks like they're doing that with more of my thing is that it's not action packed. Like, and the other thing too is that when you see like a Deathloop or you see like Dishonored, they have people that kind of make good chains. Like, hey, I'm gonna jump here, shoot that guy, flip around, jump over here, pull out my arrow, shoot that person, do that one, and it makes it look like, oh my god, look how action packed this is. But really, I just don't know how action packed it's gonna be, and if it's more sneaking around and then you get killed and then you got to start all over again, back to your 8. Like, how's that loop gonna go? How's that loop gonna work? Exactly. Nothing really next gen about it. Like, I just don't know how that loop is going to work and hold my attention. Like, are the people in different spots? Do they have different weapons? Does the map evolve? Like, does the map change, or is it the same map? And by going through it again, you kind of memorize what people are. So the only thing that's random are the hits that you're making. And again, I haven't researched too much of it, but this is kind of the impression I'm getting from where the game is. And I don't think they really addressed the randomness of it and how this loop, I know how the loop is going to work, but how to be a gaming inside VR. What's up, Salty? How you doing? Yo, Jemiah, how you doing? How's everything? Hope everybody had a good weekend. But like, so that's the thing where I'm not sure how that death loop is going to work, because the gameplay, it looks like an arcade game. It looks like basically Arcane, one of those games. I just don't know how this is going to go. And then also, I really want to hear more about the multiplayer and how that's going to work. And what's that person in the invader, on there. And one of the things that Adam Sessler was speaking about was he was saying that, the one problem that he had with Deathloop, with not Deathloop, but with I'm drawing blank, the Dishonored 2, was that if you kind of created this chaos, the level will be harder. So like there'll be more rats and more dead bodies, so there'll be more rats, and it'll be a darker tone. And if you wanted to go through with a certain play style, once you started devolving and like they found me, because that's how I always start in these games, where I sneak around, I'm playing all hip, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, all right, I'm making a run for it. I'm gonna kill a couple guys, like, and then all of a sudden it just devolves, and I'm really the way it is, like a thief. You're not really there with a huge arsenal to take on everybody. So if 2 or 3 people come after you, you're kind of done. You're going to run away. And that's the aspect of it where he said that in this one, it seems that if like you just go through stealthily and basically you get caught or something, you just want to go shooting everybody, like it doesn't really affect the gameplay. It might affect your run because if you die, it just resets. There's no kind of meta game where Dishonored 2 had that where it would affect your game moving forward. I don't know. I don't want to see more. I just want to see more of. I just want to hear more about how that loop works. But anyway, that was the thing with State of Play. I didn't think that was a great game to use as a highlight. Like I think I know that's what they're doing, but keep it Foxy. What's up, Nick? Yeah, I know, and that's the other thing. The AI is like dumb, and like they're just walking around in the same spots. Like it's not gonna hold my attention. I'll tell you that right now. Like if I just respawn after a loop and everybody like that dude's in that window, that one's over there, that one's walking out this way, that one's over there, and I could just be like kill, 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 and that's kind of the loop and the progress of the game is that you get stronger, but then you start memorizing where people are. I don't like it. That's not going to do it for me because that's why I said Returnal kind of spoiled me because these kind of loopy games, that randomness is the thing that keeps you coming back for more. My thing was like when Returnal, when you passed that first door and it opened up and it was something completely different enemy, different layouts, different. I'm like, I wanted to see what was next. And that's what kept me going through it. That's what kept me going through, like, the total randomness of the game. Yes, some structures are the same. Some of the modular things are the same. But, like, where weapons are and the weapon drops and what you get in a run and all that other stuff, like, all that stuff matters. Like, they did such a great job. And I think a lot of people who liked Returnal and played Returnal, I'm hoping Deathloop has some sort of hook like that. We will see. Lost Judgment, yeah, you know what? Lost Judgment, I really like Judgment, and Lost Judgment definitely looks cool. September's definitely looking really good. Yeah, Bethesda games with advanced AI, yeah. Oh my god, getting people stuck in walls and like in Oblivion and all that other stuff. Like the AI was just so dumb, lock them behind a door, they couldn't open it. Oh my god, like knocking all that, knocking this stuff off the table. Oh my goodness, but we'll see. We'll see. The other things I thought Fist looked really cool. That was one of my highlights. I really liked Fist. I thought that when they showed that last year, that looked pretty cool. I think the indie showcase was pretty strong. I know a lot of people were saying like, oh, Sony doesn't do indies and all this other crap. But meanwhile, they showed a bunch of indies and they showed some pretty decent ones. Not no like pixel art crap ones. Like I would say it's funny. I would say that this show was definitely more of like an animation type thing. Like they had that kind of look, like this animation look on a lot of their games. And I'm gonna say, the biggest disappointment I had was Sifu being delayed to 2022 because that looks awesome. That looks like such an awesome game with the physics and the fighting, and it looks like it looks like friggin' Baba Yaga. Like it definitely looks like the nightclubs and just knocking out people, man, John Wick style. Like it really looks awesome. Those two games really stood out. But man, I was so disappointed. I was like, 20. And they like did 2021 and then they changed 2022. And also the mechanism of Sifu where you age when you die changes how it plays. So like everybody's gonna have different games based off of how frequent they die. And I just see a lot of guys like everybody kind of likes that seafood. Yeah, I like that element of changing it up. It's not just a brawler, but do this age thing where if you're younger, but when you die you age. So like the game could change if you're consistently dying, and it's so cool. But I was disappointed that got delayed again. But got delayed to 2022. But it just, I thought it was a good show. But this is the thing that grinds my gears a little bit, and I don't like it on either end, with Xbox or with PlayStation. Even though, and I don't know, I'm sure people are not going to agree with me on this. What's up, Blue? How you doing? And hey, this is my opinion. But even if the company comes out and sets expectations about what is being shown, because I heard a lot of people giving hey, it was what they said it was. It was Indies and Deathloop. Okay, I'll give them a good rate. Hey, what's up, Immortal? Like, I don't agree with that. Like, if I come out there and say, you know what? All right, grinders, I'm going to take this huge dump. I'm setting expectations right now. I'm going to eat this food. I'm going to take this huge dump. All right? I set expectations. It's going to be huge. Now, if I deliver, that shit's still going to stink. Get what I'm talking about? You get what I'm talking about? Just because they come out and go, you know what? It's just indies, just tempering expectations, just letting you know what we're going to show. That doesn't give them a bonus points. Now, granted, if they overhype something and underdeliver, now they get the grinds my gear style. Now they need to shut the hell up. But I don't think that if they just go, hey, you know what, downplay, because if we would have been into this showcase and they would have showed like God of War gameplay, and they never set that in the expectations, people would be like, oh my God, best show ever. Oh! And this is the problem I have with these showcases. What Sony showed in that state of play. What's up, Jay Gamer? How you doing? What Sony showed in that state of play, it should have just been released. Upload video, go. Just upload it. It didn't, and I like how they do it a couple days. It's not like a week in advance to build more hype. But yo, what's up, Jamal King? How you doing? But like, I just don't think it needs a scheduled time. Like Horizon gameplay, yeah. God of War gameplay, yeah. Maybe your first Ratchet and Clank gameplay, yeah. Okay, let's schedule a time, get everybody watching. Buck Rogers. Like, let's get a time. Like, I don't think we set a time for Indie Showcase and Deathloop. Nah, just drop it. Just drop it. Like, just to make the upload and it'll run. I think it will get the same traction as if like you had the state of play, because then I just feel like this scheduled kind of thing, I think builds, just because you're scheduling it already builds the expectations. Even if you set them, you already got expectations being advanced because you have the scheduled time of this special event. And I guess it's for like traction and media and all this other stuff. But I just think like as soon as you schedule something like, hey everybody, in 3 days you're going to have this video and we're going to show games, I can tell you the games we're going to show are going to be shit. But we're setting expectations now. It's some fodder bullshit. It's going to be bad. But please join us on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here are all the world times. But when you know that these games, they're not for everybody. And then what happens? The show comes on, everybody's streaming it, and at the end they go, those games were shit. But, Sony did tell us that they were going to be shit to begin with. So, you know what? I'll give them a 5, 6. Yeah. I know game night, even if it was a stealth drop, people are so critical on the internet. You know what? That's what it is. People are going to be disappointed either way. But I do think, like, legitimately when they schedule something, I think the hype is already there. But also, I don't agree with, like, if Sony comes out and says, hey, just setting expectations, because, Microsoft does this shit too, where they go, you know what? It's not going to be no Halo there, none of this, none of that. And it's just like, you're basically de-hyping the whole video. Then why even schedule it? Well, no Horizon and no God of War is going to be there. And then, whatever. But anyway, it was all right show. I liked it. I thought the show was good. I just heard a lot of people just, going that they set expectations and stuff like that. And also what was hilarious, too, was insiders. Oh, man, we're going to talk about insiders, especially on the PlayStation end. Insiders. They're going to release I'm going to be dropping insider knowledge. If you could catch these, hit that like button, because I'm going to be dropping from my sources. I got some inside news right here. So, as we go through the Grindhouse show tonight, the Bachelor show, the Bachelor Grindhouse, I'm going to be dropping a couple of insider tips that I got from my insiders. Okay? I'm going to drop them randomly throughout the thing. I might even announce about what I hear, and I'll hit the sirens when an inside tip is coming. So keep your ears peeled, because there's going to be some amazing stuff. If there's any media out there, get your little typewriters ready, get your little keyboards ready, because you could hear what I'm about to say, and you could run with it in the news. And I got some sources. And you want to know what? I think because I hit 900 subs, I might even reveal who my sources are by the end of the show. I think because I'm going to get all new sources. When I get 1,000 subs, I'm going to get a whole new set of sources. I don't need these anymore. These are small-time sources, insiders. I'm big news now. But I'm going to be dropping some tips. All right? Speaking of tips, I got it inside. Here it is. All right, get you. Oh, there it is. Insider tip. All right. Per my sources, from what I have heard, sometime in the future, there will be a PlayStation 6. Stay tuned and subscribe. My insiders are pretty reliable, and they told me there'll be a PlayStation 6 coming in the future. I know everybody's excited about the PlayStation 5, but my insiders told me. All right? Write it down. Write an article about it. I really don't. I want this low key. I just. See, my insiders, they already gave me a downvote. See, they don't want me revealing all these facts. But a PlayStation 5 will be in there. A PlayStation 6 will be coming soon. Not soon. Clarification. In the future. In the future. Okay? PlayStation 6 confirmed. Thank you very much. The dislike, I'm sorry, my insiders. I'm sorry. I'm revealing all today. All the news is being revealed today. I got all these insider tips. I got all these insider knowledge. I'm an insider now. I'm going to be dropping insiders for the grinders. Grinders, you heard it here first. Exactly, DeFloyd. All right? PlayStation 6 is coming in the future. Now let's move on to the show. Stay tuned. When you hear that siren, there's going to be some more inside news. So you heard it here first. Please do what you may with the news. Spread the word. Tweet it out. Whatever you want to do.
Yo.
Yo, what's up? Is that Link? Hey, what's up, Link?
Yeah.
See,
that's me.
Yo, and you heard? Yeah, I got some insider news. I'm a
big
big shot now. Yeah, I got some insider tips. I just dropped the latest one to everybody. I'm burning bridges today, Ryan says. Yeah, I hit the sirens. They're gonna be throughout the show. I'm gonna be dropping some of my insider stuff, but I got some news, man. So the one I just dropped now was that the PlayStation 6 will be coming out in the future. So I didn't want to prematurely announce it, but I confirmed with my inside sources that will be coming in the future. So they're running around with the news now. All the grinders going wild. They heard it here first. I expect to see some articles coming out soon. But how you been doing, Link?
I've been doing great, actually. Yeah, doing
so,
pretty good.
We'll talk about the state of play stuff. Did you saw the state of play?
I did see it.
What did you think about it?
It was a good show. I mean, they set the expectations up front about what was going to be there at this show. This is not necessarily the future of PlayStation. It's just we're going to showcase some indies and our timed exclusive game we got coming out. And so they set the expectation for me. So it was a solid
but did
show.
that make it better, though? Because that's what I was just grinding my gears about. By them saying expectations.
What they don't want to do is disappoint people. For the people that are looking for God of War Horizon updates. You know what I mean? So I get why they did that. It was just a small show to give you some updates on some small titles that are coming, as well as Deathloop.
What'd you think of Deathloop?
Man, okay, so I bought both Dishonored games
So you
when they
immediately
came
went
out.
right to Dishonored. Exactly. It looks so like
So
Dishonored.
it
Yeah.
looked very reminiscent of Dishonored, and I couldn't finish those games. So it does look interesting, and I'm gonna give it a try. But it does look very similar to Dishonored as far as the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the gameplay.
Okay. Yeah, because I said the
Yeah.
same thing. Like I just it felt like even watching it like fully through, like I felt that it was definitely a little more Deathloopy than more not Deathloopy. I mean more Dishonored 2 than like it looked like Dishonored 2, but then when I watched the person playing, sneaking in windows, doing those animations, doing like those assassinations and stuff, I'm like, oh man, like this is just a reskin of Dishonored 2, like with a different spin on it. So yeah, I don't know. And the thing was, I was saying, like, I understand that they set expectations, but like, I felt like even that state of play, like, they could have just dropped it. They didn't have to like announce it a day or two in advance. Just drop the video and just let it go.
They kind of wanted to get more spotlight on some of these smaller titles.
Yeah,
I get why they did it.
That's probably why they went. Yeah, I can see why. Like, I feel that I in this new age of the way they want to deliver, deliver news to everybody. But I think they really need to have. Well, I guess they did it. Like, have a headline or something to build up to. I guess that's what they did with this show. I'm just liking more the single game gameplay and do that rather than these kind of like these shows. And I think the other thing why I kind of was disappointed, even when they set expectations, the thing is that I feel that you're coming off of E3 season. Like, E3 season's now. Like, E3 just ended. E3 was a huge disappointment. Like, it was it sucked. There was nothing coming E3. Like, E3 was just thing. And everybody thought, like, well, here's Sony's E3, right? And then it come with, like, these and then Dishonored. It's like, okay. Not Dishonored, Jesus. Deathloop. And I'm like, okay. Like, and now Inside is, do I have it? No, not yet. No, I have yet to confirm that. They're confirming right now Inside is about what's going to happen. But, they're saying there's another show in 2 weeks in August. And you know what? We'll talk about it with the Inside thing because I'm just like, it's driving me crazy. I'm done with it. So, it was all right. They said what it was. Move on. They had some cool indie games looking good. September looks stacked like crazy. And we will see if those things hold. I hope they do and they don't get pushed out anywhere. Hit that like button, everybody. As we go to topic number 4, Forza Horizon, which I spelt wrong. Grindhouse, the Grindsboard built with fire and brimstone. I spelled Horizon wrong. 5 features. So, according to the Forza Horizon 5, actually wanted probably the best thing that came out of E3. Forza Horizon 5 had some features announced for it. And where was it? I had it liked over here. Here it is. They have drag racing in it, convertible cars, and apparently they're using ray tracing for sound, which I didn't even know existed. But I guess you could do that now.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of it.
Yeah, like I heard them mention it, like, with the ray tracing sound. So they're using ray tracing with sound, this audio and stuff like that. But here, oops, clicked on the wrong thing. Here it is, right here. They got I didn't want the photograph. Hold on, let me get to the video here, the actual thing. Do my display. So Game Rant says that there are drag racing, convertibles, animals, and more. They got animals, but I don't think you can be riding animals. I just think that the animals are going to be there. So they're going to have sheep, donkey, flamingos, more donkeys. They have donkeys listed twice. And wild goats. Oh, my goodness. There'll be even more animals that will be there. So it'll be a living world. More detailed, location-specific, and there will be the weather system that's in there, Forza Horizon 5. So what I've seen also on Twitter, people saying that Forza Horizon 5 is kind of built off the Forza Horizon 4 engine, and that Forza Motorsport and probably the next Horizon are going to being built on a newer engine. where Forza Motorsport is going to be the first one coming out with that new engine. And then Horizon will probably follow after that. But this one's still based off of Horizon 4, which was a good-looking game. And they had the weather in there as well. And they're saying, basically, that the... there's going to be the weather systems. They actually had the seasons in the last. That was a big deal with Forza Horizon 4 was the seasons in it. But convertibles are cool. Drag racing is cool. Let's see how that drag racing works. That might be like a mini game, like not a mini game, but like pretty much, like a map of in the drag racing. I wanted to see different types of vehicles being used, and I saw something here like with a truck. Maybe if they added some more things, like added some monster truck to it, added some like other vehicles, even motorcycles and things like that. Like, I just thought that, I wanted to see that, not just more cars. Like, maybe they could just kind of change it up a little bit, especially when they teased in the last couple of Forza Horizon where you're like racing like a hovercraft and you're racing like other vehicles and you just never could control those vehicles. I thought it would be pretty interesting if they started including that stuff into Forza Horizon as the next thing. But any reactions to that? Drag racing, convertibles, and animals? Oh, animals. I guess I didn't realize there was no animals in the game. The other ones. Big news. Anything? Next topic.
Yeah.
Link is silent. It's like next topic.
Yeah. What was the question?
Oh, like, are you excited about that in Horizon 5?
I don't give a shit about that game.
All right. And there you have it. All right, next topic. We're going to flying down this Grindsboard. So the next topic, hold on, I get to my thing. The next topic we got, here. Maybe another game you don't give a shit about. Holy crap. They are dropping news in this. The grinders, they got bighorn sheep. Oh crap, what happened to my screen? Shit, my screen went out. Hold on. There we go. It's funny. They're like, oh shit, they got confirmation the next gen port of GTA 5 is coming out, which is a PS5 exclusive. My insiders are telling me that Xbox Fire Stick will have 50 teraflops and lithium batteries, next gen batteries included. Social Destruct says, Forza who? Duracell Bunny confirmed. Man, I don't know. There's tons of news floating in the Grinders chat. But the next thing, this has been getting sort of a fuss. I saw some people doing a little bit of no damage mode in Psychonauts. Oh, yeah. They got a basically an invincibility mode where everyone could enjoy the game. So what do you think about that? Oh shit, we lost you again, or is this I don't give a shit? Link is collecting his thoughts.
Didn't lose me.
Oh, okay.
No, you didn't lose me.
You just don't give a shit?
Okay. I was sitting here playing Guilty Gear, but I mean, I get them trying to make games more accessible, but at a certain point, it's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like I know that's gonna be this side. I don't know. I guess I'm an old school gamer from the NES era, and stuff. But that's nothing to be proud of.
Yeah, Social Destruct says it's game review. Buck Rogers says game reviewer mode.
Yeah, what is this? I mean, I don't.
The thing is like, I never thought Psychonauts to be that kind of challenging game that you would warrant such a mode like of invincibility. Like, I just don't. I could see it being in a game that's traditionally known for being hard and maybe trying to make it more accessible, which people complain about. Don't put in easy mode because that defeats the whole, design of the game. And I agree with that. Like, because I remember this coming up around Returnal when people are like, put a save in this and I want to finish this, and it's like, but they didn't design the game that way. Like, you could just do quick saves and just get to your biome and get to the boss. You'll just have like 5 boss fights and then be like, oh man, I finished the game in just like 2 hours. Like, that's not the design of the game. The game, you go through it, you level up, you get ether, it's all risk reward, and that's how you're playing the game. Like, it's not just to kind of save point you. It's not this 12-hour campaign. Like, it's really, you know, a 6-hour campaign that's the loop and the whole leveling up and learning that's the game. Like, that's what it is. Like, it's not this 20-hour game here, but turned into over 20 hours for me still, and I'm not even done with it. Like, I have tons of hours in the game, but I don't feel like it's wasted hours. Like, I don't feel like they're just wasting my time. Like, I feel like I'm getting better and learning as I'm playing it. That's why I said that they do, you know, that's why I said, like, they did such a great job with this. That's why I'm a little concerned with how Deathloop is going to manage that kind of, you know, repetitiveness of gaming. Whereas, you know, Psychonauts, I never thought Psychonauts would be a game that would say, hey, let's put a super invincibility mode where I could just run through the game, so everyone could enjoy it. And I don't, you know, I didn't know that the game was that challenging to has that stuff. Like, and this whole, like, I understand why, because you want to make it accessible. And I even seen like games like The Witcher and things like that where they, you know, they put the settings where if you just want to, you care about the story and not the combat, play this mode. And, you know, even in, what is it? Last of Us 2, like it has different modes where the easiest mode is like, you know, just for the narrative, just getting through the story. Because there's sometimes where there's gameplay challenges that people are just not good at certain games, and they're like, I care about the story on it. And I can understand in those very narrative-based games where story may be like a very important point and one of the driving factors of why people are invested in the characters and invested in that stuff and want to, you know, maybe just run through it, and maybe they don't care too much with the sneaking around and gameplay and the challenge, and maybe don't want, and they care about where the characters go. I could see that. I just don't know that where that falls, all that in Psychonauts 2, why that would be there. It's just kind of weird. Phil Ness. Bug channels as Phil Ness. Like, I just don't know why Psychonauts would need it, but I know it's in games like that. And also, too, if there's a way they could do it without just making, like, invincibility where he just walks through I don't know. You know what? This and this is the fact that I'm talking about here. My insider joke became reality. Sergeant says, game journalist mode is now available. Exactly. They don't have time to finish games. Well, now they will, because they're putting in game journalist mode. They don't even need to type in a code. This is like there already. You know, I just don't get and this comes to it, and I don't think this may be a victim of this game, but this is where I ask, what does a game for 2 billion people look like? And that's why when we have these conversations every week and we talk about the console gamer, the mobile gamer, the PC gamer all being the same person, and Phil just wanting more people to play his games, and that's kind of the point of Game Pass being so low. It's a low cost of entry, even though it can sneak up and give you that sneaky peek kind of like big shock value of $180 if you add it up. Like, it's really not super cheap, but it's cheaper than paying for one game and you know, at one time. But and just getting more people to play and trying to slip in microtransactions. That's right, Gadget. You know, slip those in. But really, I wonder, like, when you're going through game design, like, what is Halo going to look like if being free to play? Is it going to be all accessible Halo? Or is it going to be the hardcore Halo that people grew up on? And I saw there's going to be some skill-based matchmaking. Somebody was writing about that skill-based matchmaking will be in there. And it's certain things that they took out of games and free-to-play games. But, like, I guess that is in Halo. So maybe they're going to try to keep some of that stuff. But I just wonder. I scratch my head. I'm like, well, what is Phil saying to these studios? And he's trying to reach 2 billion people. What is he saying? Like, hey, put this mode in. Like, you know, we need to make sure that more people play our game. Like, or make it have this look. Or maybe it's not him. Maybe it's Booty. But if you're marketing to that many people, what are the compromises to the game that you're trying to make to get more people to play it? And that's where, I heard sometimes they put in they put in like a training mode, and I think Halo's going to have it where it's like a boot camp, and, to try to get people in there and do that before they get into something. But again, an online multiplayer game is going to have different challenges. I'm talking more of like these other games, like single player games, where they want to appeal a larger audience. And their focus is that many big gamers, because their game on day one is on all these devices, casual or not, it's there. So do you put this mode in there because you want everybody to click on that game and download it, saying, hey, it's easy mode, you can just run through it? I just didn't think Psychonauts will be an example of that, because I didn't think that game was hard. Bootiness. Uncle Phil was asking for the mode. I just don't know. A YouTube mode. Who knows? Link, what do you think? On no damage mode on Psychonauts, like, you think that's you think it's a victim? Trash. You think it's a victim of the Game Pass, or like just being on everything, or?
Phil wants gaming to be accessible to everyone, so it's not a surprise to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking. Like, that's why Halo Infinite Craig mode. Like, that's where I'm like, what's Fable like? And another reason why I bring up Halo is because they say Halo is a reboot. And you know what? When you do a reboot or reintroduction, you're trying to grab more people back into it. And my problem was that Halo really wasn't at the story point from Halo 5 to warrant a reboot. Like, they were in the middle of a fight, and it was getting to its climax. And
right.
6...
On which Halo?
Halo 5, the end of Halo 5.
I never even beat that trash.
Okay.
And I beat every Halo.
Yeah. Well, but, I got through Halo 5 campaign because I want to see where it goes. Just like campaign. I'm interested to see where Halo Infinite goes. But Halo 5 story was not at a point where it gets a reboot. Like, the game gets kind of a new, like a whole new, like, oh, let's go back to classic, like, to all these new things and introduce the, the brutes and stuff like that, and this whole brute battle. And it's just, hey, there was a battle being focused on, and I just don't, like, you really, like, see, when God of War finished, like, he killed Zeus, like, it was done. Now he's in a new realm and he started a new thing. Like, the story-wise, it was at a time for, like, a reboot because the trilogy, or it's done. Halo 5 really wasn't. It was just ramping up. And they kind of said, well, you know what? Let's forget about that. Let's blow up all the rings and let him just land on a Halo ring, and we're going to kind of start anew and tie in some of the old things. And that's something that you do when you were doing a mass appeal Halo. Like, when you're trying to get more people involved, people are like, what? Halo 6? Which is another reason why they don't like putting numbers at the end of games and movies. Because if you see, like, Halo 6, you're like, I didn't even play Halos 1 to 4. I'm lost. There's no way I'm going to be able to, like, catch up. And people automatically are discouraged from playing it because of the nomenclature of just seeing a 6 going, there were 6 of these things? Or there's 5 of these things? Like, I'm not. That's why a lot of times they'll put, like, Halo 5 or Halo Guardians, or they'll do, like, a subtitle where it doesn't seem that it's a numerical number that people already are behind. Now, this is Halo Infinite. It was not even Halo 6. So you're looking at this going, how does this relate to Halo 5? And that's been my question since the dawn of this thing being shown. And I think it's one of the issues with how they're using Halo, because they're really not bringing the Halo crew who followed the story from Halo 1 to 5. Even though Halo 5 story devolved, it still was following the main thing of him versus Cortana. And they haven't really tied in that stuff. Like, I think in the last show, I was a little more satisfied, though, in the last one, where they did talk about that new Cortana and, where she is and stuff. That cutscene. Where that cutscene is, I don't know in the game. But up until the last month, or the last showing, they really did not do a good job in pulling people into, like, what's going on, what happened to everything, and even they're going to mention Locke at all after they hyped him up for Halo 5. Who knows? But it's all kind of scattered all over the place. But this is what they're trying to do because they're trying to bring in a new audience. They keep talking about how they're going back to like the classic Halo look and all this other stuff. And, you know, is that a victim again of we want more people to play our games? You know, dropping Gears of War and just making it Gears. Not of War anymore, Gears 5. And Rod Ferguson fought on that. He said they wanted to do that with Gears of War 4. And he basically said, you know, I want to keep it Gears of War. And then he said in Gears 5, that's when they dropped it. And they made it Gears 5. Why? It's Gears of War. No, it's Gears. And is that because of War sounds a little, you know, brash, or maybe people turned off for that?
Maybe it's too mature for their audience. Mature. You know, Phil wants more E-rated games. So
yeah, he said that too. So and that goes along the lines of E-rated games. Like you're putting in games, you want accessibility because you want games. They want to be able to appeal to as many people as possible. Exactly, and you want games to be more accessible, but also more forgiving. You know, because if people are using touch controls and stuff, you're not going to give them a Demon's Souls where it's precise movements because they might be playing over 5G in the cloud. Like if you're looking for this cloud future, you most likely not put a game with like precise inputs that really wouldn't work well in the cloud, and it would show the latencies and it would suffer from latencies. Right. So do you not make your game that kind of way because you know that it's going to play in the cloud? And that's where my concerns come from this whole like future that everybody's cloud's the future. Like when do they start making games for that future? Like when do they start compromising what we play now, what we like now, what's selling now, and they take that away from us, this precision, because they want to accommodate those on a phone over Wi-Fi.
Right, that's crazy. That's crazy. That could potentially be what they're trying to do.
I know, and that's why when people go, it's the future, I'm like, hello, why? Think McFly.
Why would you want that to be the future?
That's why I tell them, think McFly, think. I'm like, you know that if that's where the game is, they want the games to be there. When do you think the games will be the same now that you're playing? The games that you're enjoying right now, you think they will be the same thing in the future? Like if that's where you want this company to go with this stuff? You know, that's why I say a game built for mobile, the hitboxes are bigger. It's built for a touchscreen because it's built for that device that's being played on. But when you take a console game and just patch on some touch controls and stream it to somebody, like fucking you're going to eat it and enjoy it, how's that game design and stuff not going to be adjusted for that kind of experience? And they want I'm trying to use my phone. They want it.
I'm trying to use
It's all about the phones, man.
Yeah, and then likewise, a game going into a subscription. Day one guns. Oh, we'll take feedback from the community and add it later. What do you want in the game? We'll add it in patch number 6. In the spring patch. Why? Because we got to keep you coming back. We're not just trying to sell you a $60, $70 product and then you be on your way. We're trying to sell you this and we're going to add stuff later. And Via Vex, what's up? He says, do you think Halo Infinite will have a God mode for its campaign? I hope
Probably
not.
Will.
I know that they got something like of some sort of like boot camp or something for the multiplayer, at least for the free to play, but I don't know. I don't know. Like I remember what they said with Sea of Thieves. Why does it look like that? And he said because it's scalable across all devices, mobile and everything. Like if people were thinking Sea of Thieves was going to be on the Switch. That's why I say when you know, when Sony puts its games out, it's focusing on the device that is coming on there, and hopefully it's not compromising based off of a service or a future that they believe in. Because you got to remember, cloud is like that's the reason why Xbox is still around, is because Phil was able to finesse his way with Satdya and say, hey, we could use Xbox for the cloud future that you want, Satdya. That's the whole reason why Xbox is still around, because it was done. especially if we look and see what the output has been since 2016. Like, I think we could say in 2016 when they shut down those studios, like it was cash out time. I think it was done. And the reason why I even think that is that we are basically in restart mode. Buying studios years out of games. Like, what happened to game development? At Microsoft, they just ceased games. They just stopped. After Halo 5, they just said, cut it off, cut. And then they came back and rebooted as this PC, one Xbox, then services, and then cloud, and then buying studios. Like, it is basically Xbox remastered. Like, they were just trying to redo themselves again. It's pretty crazy because we had no games the last 3 years that, like we had the traditional ones, but we had so many more before 2016. So they really were on their way out. And I think this cloud future, this is what they're fully banked on. But I just say, well, what does a game look like for 2 billion people? You're never going to make one game for that. And, if you're going to start putting no damage mode, and then people go, well, it's all in there. Brian V says, all I've got to say is, where is Booty? Have you seen this man? I told you. Phil puts his booty in the closet. Nobody looks at my booty. Mm-hmm. Phil's like, nobody looks at my booty. It goes strutting down the street. Phil's like, get that ass back inside. And Booty goes clapping back inside. He comes out there like, there's Matt Booty. Here he comes. Look at that ass on Matt Booty. Phil's like, get that ass back inside that house. Booty, you clapping. You don't clap in these streets. Phil, these are my streets. I'm clapping in these streets. Booty, get your ass back in that house. Phil keeps his booty private. Booty does no interviews. They had E3. Booty's gone. He's the man running the studios. Phil says, Booty, you get away. Everybody wants to see me because everybody loves Mr. Phil Spencer. Nobody likes Booty. Booty, you stink. Nobody likes you. Me and Sarah Bond. Everybody likes us. Nobody wants clap a Booty. But yeah, what is the status of the studios, Matt Booty? The only Booty I know, it doesn't make any noise, but he's clapping in the background. I don't know. But anyway, 2 billion gamers. Psychonauts 2 has a no damage mode. Enjoy accessible mobile phones on everything.
The thing about it is, like, when you do stuff like that, like, I get trying to make the game more accessible, but you're going to have people who will just use those type of modes and get all the achievements or whatever, and it's like, did you really even play the game? Like, you know what I mean? When you're just...
Well, hopefully they disable achievements. Like,
they're not going to do that.
Yo, what's up, Jose? He says he's a crusty booty. He's an old crusty booty. But you're right. Like, yeah, maybe. Hopefully they disable achievements if they're going to put these kind of, these modes in there. But I just, I don't know. I just didn't think Psychonauts 2 was a game where it's like, well, you could just play the story mode and get through it, but it's good for everyone, like for the kids and stuff. It's like, I don't know. It's God mode. Like,
I don't think you should get achievements for that.
I don't think so either. Like, I don't think so either. And people, like, I've seen the other side where people are like, well, just don't select it. It doesn't ruin the game. And that's right. It's an option. But, like,
part of your experiences with the community and seeing other people's accomplishments, sharing your accomplishments.
Well, that's messed up.
With how you rank with your peers.
They got to lock
when you got people that's going to be able to use invincibility mode and just run through the game. And it's like, what? I mean, no, you shouldn't be able to get achievements for that.
No, and I hopefully they're locked when you get Psychonauts 2. It's locked. So we will see. But again, things like this like make me just kind of think, like, when you hear 2 billion gamers talk about cloud accessibility, everybody to play our games and stuff. It's just, and you play it, and I wonder if this is the future of, like, what are they going to do with Halo campaign? What are they going to do with their games when they start rolling out? That's why I want to know, what does a Fable look like? What does a Perfect Dark look like? Like, if you're targeting that many gamers on so many devices, because that's your commitment, What are you going to do? And, it's just an option. Well, it better be an option that doesn't give achievements and stuff. And, it better be an option that locks away achievements, because that would be unfair to people. And I think it should. We'll find out. But anyway, that's enough about Psychonauts 2. We'll see when it comes out. We'll see how it's received. I think it'll be all right. The first one's so old, like I don't know. I don't know if the charm is holding up now with 2. I think it's just such a long time, but
that game doesn't even look interesting.
Sorry. What? Game Night says Double Fine on Twitter said it won't lock achievements. What? Uh-oh. I gotta see this. Is that Insiders? Wait a second. Nah. Wait, the Psychonauts. Really? They said. Let me see. They're working on a completely new IP after Psychonauts 2. Oh.
They need to not make that and go straight to the new IP.
Let me see. Where's let's see. God mode. What the hell's going on? My friggin' screen like flickering. Well, that sucks. Thanks, Game Night. Well, that sucks.
What is it?
That it doesn't. Hey, what's up, Twisted? Thank you. It better lock those achievements, but the Game Night 123 says they said on Twitter it won't lock achievements. Hey, Game Night, I'm gonna give you mod status, and if you could post a link, it'll save me some time. Yeah, if you could share the link in the chat of that tweet. I want to see what they said that shit. So the next topic on the Grindsboard, this one was a doozy. This one was really interesting. The sales of consoles, and I know people are gonna go right down and go, console sales. You know what? It is what it is. It's a device like everything else. Headphones, every electronic device. Sales matter. All right. Sales gone a mind share. Okay. You could talk about One World now and all this other stupid ass shit, but I'm going to tell you right now, sales matter to developers and all this other stuff because they want to know what's going on. And I wanted to share this thing because this is like, if you could catch when Xbox actually sold more, let me know which month you could find this in. So here we're going to let this run. I don't know if Link you saw this thing. So here it is. So somebody said global annual console unit sales from 2002 to 2021, right? Let's watch. Here we go. Starting with the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, Xbox at 6.9%, Nintendo at 7.9%. That was in March of 2002. PlayStation 2 was at 60%. And here we go. Watch how this changes. All right, PlayStation 2 still winning all through 2004, all through 2005. Here comes the 360 now, creeping up. PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 slow, 360, but the Wii had just took over. In 2010, 360, that's probably with Kinect. 2011, I thought. Now we got PlayStation 3 coming. There's the PS4. Xbox One launched. PlayStation 2 gone. 2016, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Wii U goes away, and here comes the Switch. 2018, Switch takes back. And now we're coming up to 2020, and boom. So we ended at... Oh, it's repeating. So we ended at, right now, we're in January 2021. This is the scenario. Oh, my God. What's going on? I got to fix my display port. I think it's loose. Switch at 52%. Xbox One is at 8%. Series X and S are at 6.8. PlayStation 5 is at 12, and PlayStation 4 is at 20. So, did anybody catch the month? I'll kind of highlight it when Xbox sold. It's pretty interesting because it looked like the Wii came in, but then PlayStation 2 just handed it off right to the PlayStation 3. Did you catch that? Did anybody catch? What month did Xbox 360 win? Because it's interesting seeing that chart and then seeing like the mind share, like seeing like how, you know, even on its best, like the 360 really never globally dominated on that stuff. Oh, here it is. Thank you, Game Night. So just jumping back to the other. Oh, damn it. Link, I got bad news for you. Just jumping back to the other topic right here. Psychonauts 2 Invincibility mode won't disable achievements. Psychonauts 2 might be an easy completion as developer Double Fine has revealed that the platform will have an invincibility toggle that won't disable the game's achievements. And Microsoft Xbox tweeted, beating the game on lowest difficulty is still beating the game. And then Double Fine retweeted that saying, if you beat Psychonauts 2 with invincibility toggle on, you still beat Psychonauts 2. Well, wait. Oh, here it is. And then all the people should... So they wrote, it won't block some achievements, and they go, nope. Ugh. So they quote, all people should be able to enjoy games, all ages, all possible needs. It's an ongoing and important process for industry and challenge we need to meet end of the day. We want to have fun, to laugh, to experience a story that affects you on whatever terms you want. And they say nope. Well, that's ass. I'm gonna go on a friggin' tangent with this thing. This is my thing. Okay, this is a tangent. I agree that gaming should be huge. Everybody should play games. Right? But
right.
What I don't like is what classifies all ages, all possible needs. What classifies people not playing games? Like I said last week, my friend is not a gamer. He don't classify himself as a gamer, but he plays games. He plays Call of Duty on his phone. So like, he's gaming. Like, my son plays Fortnite. He plays Rocket League. He's not playing Peppa Pig. You know, like, the thing is that there's so many games right now. And this is a whole friggin' tangent here. And I don't know if the grind is, everybody's going to agree with me in this stuff. But, like, I just feel that there's so many ways to play games. There's so many variations of games. There's touchscreen. There's, like, my wife's not a gamer, you know, and she plays Panda Pop. Is she gaming? The thing is that there's so many, like, this shouldn't be an issue. That's my thing. And I feel like Microsoft is making this an issue. All people should play all games. And I think it's a PR move because I feel that everybody's playing games nowadays. They don't need an Xbox. They don't need Phil Spencer games to play. They don't need Psychonauts 2 to have all these modes in it so they play the game. Like, if people don't give a shit about Psychonauts 2, like, they're not going to play Psychonauts 2. Like, my son is not going to play Psychonauts 2 because there's an invincibility mode. My wife is not going to play it because they have no interest in this game. So, I don't understand by manipulating the games to kind of force feed this message of everybody should play. Everybody is playing. They're just not playing your games.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm getting with this? Like, I hope I'm explaining myself.
Yeah, they're playing everything.
Everybody's playing games. The last I heard, everybody's playing. The gaming industry is blowing up.
Putting the invincibility mode is going to make more people play Psychonauts?
No.
I don't think so.
No, and that's
what
my
Phil
thing.
thinks, though.
Exactly, and that's what these people eat up. Oh, well, Phil's like, he's like the Dalai Lama of fucking video games. And I'm like, you know what? Like the Mahatma Gandhi of video games. Like, you're not. Everybody's playing games. They're just not playing your games. And that sounds like a you problem. This sounds like you're making games that don't appeal to people. That sounds like you have a problem with narrative. You have a problem with marketing. You have a problem with what you're showing or what you're not showing. You're excited about what I didn't show. You know what I mean? That's your problem. You're not you're making a problem with something does not exist. Like, I agree. You want to do the adaptive controller, that is great. Everybody could use that. That's a physical mechanism to let people play games. Obviously, over a controller, bravo, definitely. And more game developers, everybody should use that. But I just don't think that there's this, like, they gotta change these games thinking, like you said, like, more people will play the games because I make it easier. The thing is like, everybody's playing games. The gaming industry is growing enormously. And people, it's so big that people are finding what they like. Like, it is like a smorgasbord of any type of game your heart desires. I could see this movement happening like in the 90s or in the early 2000s when games were very restricted and there was not, and gaming was not there, and it was only appealing to shooters, and now you could play everything as a game. Everything is gamified. There's games for everything. What's up? Neil said something. What did Neil say? Neil says that he has cerebral palsy and I play PS5 normal like everyone else. I taught myself to do so. That's awesome, man. Bravo to you. That is awesome. And that's because there are games on the PS5 that you want to play. It's not because they put a mode in there or something like that. Like, that's the problem that I have. Like, I feel like they're trying to solve a problem that really doesn't exist. That's the thing. Like, I think the problem is people just don't have interest in what you're showing, Phil. That's the problem.
It ain't got nothing to do with the difficulty. It has nothing to do.
It has nothing to do. Mode. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to do with putting it on phones. It doesn't have to do with putting it on PCs and streaming it to people or playing it. It doesn't matter. And that's what I've been trying to say. Like, my people who are playing Call of Duty on their phone are completely content with that. They don't give a shit if you put Gears 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 on that phone. They will not play it. Because they don't care about Gears of War. That's a you problem. You got to make those people care. You have to make my friend knock on my door going, Grinds. Oh, you don't call him Grinds. But, yo, like, what's this Gears of War that I'm seeing? Gears of War 8, it looks insane. Now you know you hit the market. When my brother calls me up and he goes, yo, I just saw that game. That looks incredible. Now I know that it got through to somebody else because I didn't bring it up. I'm not the salesman. Neil says it right there. We just don't want to play Xbox trash games. Trash. Yeah. But the problem, and exactly what I'm trying to say, I'm not saying all their games are trash, but I'm just saying this problem that Phil is trying to resolve, I feel he's creating this narrative of nobody's playing your games, Phil. That's a you problem. PlayStation, and this is where I say, like, PlayStation, and they're selling bonkers. The Switch is flying off the shelves. Nintendo's selling billions of games. Sony's games are flying off the shelves. Microsoft has not seen that success. So it's a problem that they're trying to solve. It's not a problem in the gaming industry because the gaming industry is blowing up. More people play games now than ever. It wasn't because they just put console games on a cell phone. Cell phone gamers found their cell phone games. PC gamers found their PC games. Console gamers found their console games. Everybody's playing. You don't need to put easy mode. You don't need to put in like cartoon characters in there thinking that it's going to have a broad appeal. Actually, what you kind of do now is you deter people from doing this because they see the compromises that you're making to a game that maybe didn't need it, but now you're kind of force-feeding it. You're forcing it. Oh, well, everybody should beat our game and have achievements. What's the point of achievements and competition if you could do it on every friggin' mode? Like, you are deterring from the market that may be interested in this. And this is what they have done over the last 4 years, was that they took this console market that they built and basically just disbanded them and said, we're focusing on 2 billion people. You bitches could come along if you want, but we don't give a shit about you. We're putting widescreen support into computers. We're putting touch screens for the friggin' cell phone dudes so they could play State of Decay and friggin' Crackdown 3 with their goddamn fingers or their strap-ons. Like, that's what they want. What, the controller? It's a you problem. And I think that's where people are taking Phil's words and thinking that this is an industry problem. And I think more people playing a game like there's 2 billion people in the world. Everybody's gaming, dude. Everybody's gaming. Because gaming is not... And I said, he would have a point if consoles were not selling. If PC gaming cards were not sold out. If Apple didn't have a Game Pass or Apple Pass. And if none of these things exist and gaming was drying up, I would see a push for this, that we have maximized our potential for gamers, and we have to change our games now because we have maximized what we're going to sell. But that's not the case. Gaming is more accessible than ever. More people are playing games. My dad's playing games. I couldn't get him to sit in front of a Nintendo or an Xbox for the life of me all growing up, but he's on his phone playing games. I didn't get him on it. Phil didn't get him on it. That's the thing. Everybody found what they wanted to play. So it's not an industry problem. It is an Xbox problem. It's a Phil problem. It's a Satdya problem. And they're trying to make it look like that they're this globalized Dalai Lama, save the world, save the planet, Phil Spencer leading the world with Game Pass, and that's why you have insiders and medias and all this other shit talking about this is the future because they think this is solving a problem. But it's not solving a problem. There you go, Sam Ash. My mother plays games on a tablet. Exactly. My mother-in-law plays Panda Pop. She spent over $1,000 in Panda Pop. Microtransactions, there you go. She don't give a shit about Gears. Nobody, like, it doesn't matter. People, that's why when I say it's about the games, it's always about the games. And when you're not releasing great games, you are not in the conversation. You shouldn't be in the conversation. But that's my point on it. Because I just reading this and I see these quotes, and I have some Phil Ness stuff here too. Like, I just feel that he talks such a great game. It's like, it's like the somebody talking about world peace. Like, oh, world peace, I would do this, I would do that. And everybody's like, wow, that sounds really nice. But, are you going to make it happen? PUBG says, Phil problem Ness. Exactly. It's a Microsoft problem that nobody's buying their games. It's their problem. They're trying to figure out a solution to how do we sell our games. Well, Phil's like, just chum the water. Put this game in front of everybody that's breathing, and hopefully we'll buy it. Just like they thought, and maybe alludes this to later on, in another few minutes I'm going to talk about something else, but like Mixer, just buy Shroud. Just buy Ninja. Nobody's coming to Mixer. Just buy them. Bring them over here. We got to solve the problem. We're not growing. We'll just buy the content. Buy the people. That'll give us some legs. Look what happened. My daughter got her first platinum in death mode with death mode in Ratchet. Failed as a dad. Hey, Dom. Yeah, and also too, you got to teach the kids challenging and failing. Like, hey, I grew up gaming. There was no like there was no auto save and stuff like that. Like, I had to learn the patterns and pattern recognition and play the game. It was a developed skill. You know, I understand there's a world of short attention spans, but guess what? Though the people that will have that span will play those games. That's what I mean. There's so many games for any type of gamer right now. It's accessible with a touch of a click of a finger on a phone, a click of a download on a PC and on a console. It's there. You will find any game your heart desires, any genre, anything you want. You will find what works for you. That's why there should be more individuality with gaming than this herd mentality of like, we have to make this one game to compromise 2 billion people. There should be more individualism now because there's so much variety and accessibility. There's $70 games down to free games. There's a game for everybody out there.
True.
So why take the few games that you got and turn them into the game for everybody? Because you're just trying to be cheap? Go make 20 games of all varying stuff. Do that. Don't just take one big game and say, this is the game for the 2 billion. You know? It is. Anyway, that's my rant for that thing. I just think that it's a problem that Microsoft is making a problem, and I just think that it's a problem that, you know, it may exist, and maybe I'm being naive about it, but I don't see how it can exist because of the market growing so much, and consoles selling like crazy, and phones selling, and all these game passes and accessibilities, and Google games and Apple games, and just hearing stories of people playing games like that you would never think would touch anything, a game. And then seeing like how Phil's like talking about his games, thinking like, oh, there's a problem here. Like, we got to get Halo in 2 billion people's hands. Like, you know, well, if they don't give a shit about Halo, it doesn't matter how many hands they're in. Gears 5 was in billions of hands. You had to activate crossplay because it was drying up. You had to force it. Because 40% of the people stop playing the games. Like, 40% of the people didn't want crossplay, but you said, oh, bullshit. Even though about half of you don't want a crossplay, we're forcing it because it's holding up rooms. How does that happen when it's on billions of devices? How is nobody playing this game? And this is Gears, your prized franchise. It's a you problem, Xbox. It's a you problem, Phil. That's what it is.
I mean, hell, I love Gears, and I struggled to. I'm still trying to finish that freaking campaign.
Campaign was trash. That was a bad campaign.
Trash. Yeah,
it was told well, but the story didn't go anywhere. It was wasteful. And similar to the Gears 4. Gears 4 story was building up, and that was kind of just a letdown. Like, it was building up to something.
4 was trash. I don't know what Coalition was doing.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I mean, I get they were trying to go in a different direction, but you should go in a better direction, not worse.
Yeah. And actually,
the new characters.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I don't care for the new characters at all.
Yeah, that whole Kate pivot and all that other stuff was kind of whack. Like, yeah, it was just and then I thought the story was told very well. Like, I liked the cutscenes. I liked how they did it because they did use motion capture finally, that like what Sony uses, so it made them more believable. And, you know, it tied you into their emotion and stuff like that, but it didn't really go anywhere. Like, I think that the story was very just, it didn't really hit, and it's all new characters. Like, they did not do a good job at making you care for the characters. And I'm gonna give you another example. I just watched what is it? I watched Black Widow. I watched Loki. I watched, and then as traditionally I watched, the Captain Falcon and also the WandaVision, right? Those shows are a perfect example of how you get your audience invested into new characters and caring about ones that really didn't have much of the limelight in the big road up to Thanos. But you're now using this, and you're using these stories, and you're getting people to get into the real details of each of these characters and introducing new characters and potential future people where when they show up, you're not going to be like, who's this? You can be like, oh my God, that's from that one. Oh, that's how, and you understand their motives and you understand that stuff. But it's interesting on how you take like the Iron Mans and Captain Americas and the big names, and now you kind of make people care about Black Widow and her sister, and then you even Scarlet Witch and Vision, and kind of like the secondary characters, and getting them ready, and you're building up to something more because you could see how they're starting to build these young Avengers and stuff like that into another thing. And it's not just they're gonna spam them together like like how DC did. And they're building up that you care about it, and that's a perfect example of how DC handled it. Like, hey, these guys, here they are fighting everybody. And you're like, why? Who? What? Who? What? Wait, what? And you're just like, well, how this Justice League just showed up in one day? And you look at how they're doing it with Marvel, and they're making you care about each character. Like, they're developing each character. Like, Scarlet Witch, her evolvement. It didn't show that she just showed up and now she has all these powers again.
Right.
Like, and that's what you're supposed to do. And they didn't do that with Gears at all. They just said, Kate, oh, yep, you're the go. You and random Dom. You and random dude.
Phil said they need more female.
Yeah, I heard that with Perfect Dog.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. I love nothing at all. I love playing with female characters, though. I mean, Last of Us Part 2 is my game of generation.
Oh, my God. I love The Last of Us Part 2.
So, I mean, what I'm saying is, like, you need to do it when it makes sense and when it's organic. Don't force it, Exactly.
And even if you're gonna force it, you don't make it look like it's forced. Because then the viewer feels like that they are like they have to like this, otherwise they're not getting the message. And the thing is that you want them to naturally like it. And that's always the fact. Like, it's been this way for some reason, for how Microsoft has evolved, and Sony says organic growth and stuff, and it's just like how Microsoft just buys Bethesda. It's like, boom, you will like Starfield now because we own them. Where Sony takes Housemarque and it's like, here's Returnal. Like, there's an evolved growth that you might like Housemarque because of their game. Like, it kind of like they made some of the stuff under their breath. If you take this Bethesda one where it's like, we're just going to switch your name, now you're us, now your next game is Oz. Same thing with Minecraft. Like, they did nothing to make Minecraft what it was. They just bought it when it was everywhere. And they did the same thing with Mixer. They just bought Shroud and stuff. They didn't evolve their content and make people get some new content creators and have a career on Mixer and have their own Ninja. Instead, they're like, nah, you know what? We're just going to buy Ninja and put them over here. And that's kind of their motif. That's what they do, and it doesn't work out. You can't just buy your way and just slap your name onto something. People are going to know that that's not genuinely yours. You're just funding it now because you just spent money. That's where this organic growth of, like, this makes sense. Here's Returnal. It makes sense. Spider-Man at the height of their thing, Insomniac. Now it's time to buy you. And now you can make... You're not just pumping out Spider-Man games. Go make Ratchet and Clank. Get that franchise going. You don't think maybe a Ratchet and Clank 2 is down the wind? Like, you don't know. But they brought back Ratchet and Clank. They didn't just say they didn't just say, hey, you're the Gears studio. Everything that you make is Gears. They didn't do that to Insomniac. They didn't buy Insomniac and go, everything you make is Spider-Man. No, your first game for PS5, yeah, you'll do Miles Morales, but you're also going to do Ratchet and Clank. We want that IP back. Because think about it. When was the last Ratchet and Clank? It was like mid PS4. Like, the fact that they brought that franchise back now with the PS5, that's a statement. They could have said, hey, you just make Miles Morales and then Spider-Man 2. Insomniac, you're the Spider-Man studio. But they didn't corner them like that. Oh, I got a good quote. It's game night. But anyway, and this kind of ties into the console sales over 19 years. Hey, what's up, Ice Queen Gaming? So, like, you could see what we just went through with that chart. With this chart here, is you could see how it is an Xbox problem. Like, it's a Phil problem. They're not seeing the growth. They had a brief instance, and I don't think anybody gets it, but like here in when the Wii, PlayStation stuff, here it is, February 2012 They had January and February was when the 360 was the highest gaming console sales, and it was by 29.6 over 28.9 by 1%, less than 1%. The 360 was there for 1 month, 2 months in 2012, and then it went right back to PlayStation 3. And then that's where they never got that back. See? And that's what happened. After 2012, they were all kind of neck to neck in November 2011. But then 2012, this is when the Xbox went down and never came back. Now Xbox One, it never came back. PlayStation's dominated all of them, 3s and 4s. And that probably was the biggest hit right here. Was in 2013, 2014. It was like where you have these PS2, right? And these PlayStation 3. And you got your PlayStation 4 getting ready to line up. This is original PlayStation, holy shit. But like these PlayStation 3 did not go to the 360. They did not go to the Xbox One. They went to the PS4. Because you'll watch the PlayStation 3 drops down as the PS4 increases. And you're not seeing a lot of this. And you're seeing a lot of 360 people, like PlayStation 4 is increasing and Xbox. See, and they never got it back. And PlayStation just held it. And then the Switch came out. And then PlayStation Switch is dominated. And look at Xbox. Like, look at this. 43% Switch, 42% PlayStation, and 14% Xbox One in 2019. That's a problem. That's a you problem. We need more people to play our games. Obviously, look at the pie chart. You're a friggin' fraction. Yeah. That's a you problem. That's not an industry problem. That's a you problem. Stadia is in every goddamn Google browser. Why is it not kicking off? Every Chromebook, every Chrome tab has Stadia. Every Chrome box, Chrome stick. You think, oh, the missing factor here is putting an Xbox stick on your TV or having Xbox Game Pass installed on a Samsung TV? That's the missing link? That's the solution to this? No. It's a you problem. You never got it back. Look, and here comes PlayStation 5. Look. And there's where you are right now. You're at 32% market, and you're not even you're at 14. Switch is at 52. Like, Sony and Nintendo are destroying this market. So look at where you are. And you tell me, whose problem is it? More people to play our games. Rest my case. Next topic.
Okay.
Where's the thing? It's a Phil problem. That's right. And here we go. Where's my next one? Next topic is... Oh, shit. Here we go. We had this director's cut and upgrade. Speaking, now we're on the Sony front here. Or they blame Sony for this stuff.
Okay.
This whole director's cut stuff. So we came out now with the director's cut, as per the state of play, that the director's cut for Death Stranding is going to have like extra transportation modes, like a slingshot. They're going to have a bot that could carry you. It is definitely going to be more content in it. They're gonna upgrade the graphics, not necessarily like a recoding, but more of like a better resolution, frame rate in it. Add the adaptive triggers, add all that content, that stuff with it, with the additional content, sort of like like what fans have been asking for, things like that. So they're adding these other weapons, a shooting gallery, different weapons, different fighting animations to it to make it a little more action. I guess you could do drop kicks and stuff like that now. And that director's cut, which I think Kojima said came out, he's like, it's not a director's cut. I'm like, whatever, he's smoking something. But basically, the that if you have it already, it's $10 for that. Adaptive triggers, that extra content, stuff like that. Then we have Ghost of Tsushima, which is doing their extra island, whole new island, for a $20 upgrade for the PS4 version, but a $30 upgrade on the PS5 version. And with the PS5 version, you're going to get the PS5 features such as the adaptive controller. You're going to get the updated resolution to 4K. You're going to basically all the stuff that comes with the PS5 version. Faster loading time, which that game already had faster loading time. But the thing with Ghost of Tsushima, though, is that it already had an update through backwards compatibility where they added the frame rate mode in there that unlocked the frame rate to 60 frames. And basically, you could play it in backwards compatibility mode. But the PS5 version of the DLC is $30. And the PS4 version is and people are going is $20. So people are going crazy because of this $10 thing. Oh, and the other thing with the $10 too is that EA just came out now, and everybody's yelling at Sony about this. I don't know how, because they already did it last year, But EA now says Madden and FIFA will be $70 to play them on next-gen consoles. You have to get the Ultimate Editions. The $60 version will only give you the last-gen version, but if you pay $70, you get the next-gen version and the last-gen version. Like, who gives a shit? Who wants to play the last-gen version when paying $70 for it? But you'll have to pay $70. So now, Xbox fans who are putting their foot down $70, I guess you're not going to play Madden and FIFA. And this goes along the lines I'm saying. It's like, this is where they're going. The industry is going to get that upgrade. Everybody's trying to do it a different way. Some are doing an upgrade, some are not doing it, but everybody's going to eventually get there. Xbox needs to have some games to upgrade worth a damn for this stuff. But what do you think about this $10 fiasco that everybody's going crazy about, where it seems that, I see Dustin Alighieri, all the Xbox guys are whining about it. PlayStation people are going extra, I support the devs, I do this stuff, boasting, saying I'm paying $7, $10 and I want to do it. And it's just this yelling match back and forth. Like, what do you think about it?
It's pretty. I mean, I don't really care if you buy the shit or you don't. I don't.
Exactly.
I mean, you know what I mean?
I know, right?
It just. I don't care.
Yeah. For you, are you gonna do the upgrades? Like, are you gonna pay the $10 for Ghost? You said because you love Ghost. What about the other one, the new one that they announced, the Death Stranding?
I'm definitely copping that because I beat the first game and I really enjoyed it. So, if it's something I want to enjoy, I'm gonna spend the money. And I'm gonna play it the best way I can play it on the console. Yeah. So I mean, I don't.
It's just that everybody's
so
kind of
check
like
this out. So this whole thing with it wasn't that it's not. You don't get both versions if you buy the $70 game with the EA.
Oh, you don't?
No, you have to buy the Ultimate Edition.
Oh, they keep that shit.
$100.
What? Get the hell
$99 to get both versions. If you buy just a 70, let's say you buy the PS4 version for $60, there is no upgrade path. You have to buy the next gen version at full price. But if you buy the Ultimate Edition at $99, you get both versions. So that's what the outcry is about that.
Oh my god, who the hell is this?
So you have to buy the Ultimate Edition for $100 to get both versions, but there's no pay $10 upgrade thing. They're not doing that anymore. So
no, you just what they're doing is they're wrapping it into the different versions of the game, Ultimate,
right? So
Deluxe.
If you pay the $100 version, then you get both codes. If you don't buy that $100 version, then you have to buy them separately. There's no upgrade path.
Oh my god!
You can't.
So if you spend $60, you
have to pay the full $70.
Yeah, if you spend $60, then you got to rebuy the whole game for the next gen.
Right, you got to pay $70.
Yo, for that trash ass Madden, my god, that's even worse. Yeah. That has nothing to do with Sony with this thing. Yeah, that's just EA being retarded. Oh, sorry, stupid ass. Like, I just think EA is just. I tell you. EA is just remember EA is the one where they just basically go with where EA says, like, remember they did the $10 online pass? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Whenever they were trying to combat used games.
Yeah, we're trying to combat used games where they're like, well, you could buy the game, but then to access online, in addition to paying the subscription for Xbox Live, there's a $10 friggin' pass to get that, the online pass. You know what I mean? Like, it's just yeah, and that's the thing, Neil. Like, if you buy I think, see, and this is the thing. For me, the two of them are this. I think that the problem is that everybody's doing it differently. Like we saw with Metro Exodus. If you own Metro Exodus, like you just got that upgrade that we were talking about a couple weeks ago. You just had, that was included in it.
Right.
You got the upgrade to Final Fantasy. That just came with everything, and then you had to buy the Ufi DLC, which was only on PS5, the Ufi.
Right.
But they just gave it a whole reskin.
Right. I don't, as far as companies giving free upgrades and all this stuff, I mean, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. If it's a game I want to play, I'll pay the extra for it. And if it's the game that I'm not interested in, I won't pay it.
Yeah.
You bought the product. This whole, when you buy a product, right? Console gaming and PC gaming is different. I know a lot of people try to compare.
Oh, yes, I heard that. Yeah.
Oh, well, when I buy the game on PC, if I upgrade from a 2080 to a 3090, I don't have to pay extra to pay at high fidelity. But the difference is the PC version of the game has all those options built into it.
Exactly.
When a console game is made, configured for that particular piece of hardware. So the devs have to go back and do extra work to make the game work for the new hardware. It's not the same thing. So if devs are going back to work to put work into getting the game to run on your new console, then if the publisher or whoever wants to be compensated for that, I have no problem with it because the product you bought originally still functions.
Yep.
Okay. If you get a free upgrade, great. That's great. That's definitely pro-consumer, but it's not anti-consumer to charge for your work.
No.
So this whole idea of saying, well, if one company does it, then another one should do it. That's not how this works.
Mm-hmm. So and that's what people are doing. Yeah. Everybody's doing it. You can't
expect every company to do everything because their resources may be different than another company. And so it's capitalism. That's what it is. You charge for a product.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just plain and simple.
And
great.
Okay. No, yeah, what are you saying?
And the thing about Ghost of Tsushima, the only reason why there's not a $10 upgrade path is because there's not a base PS5 version of Ghost. There's only the director's cut. So if they offered a $10 upgrade path, you would get not only the enhancements, but all of the content of the director's cut at a cheaper price than the PS4 owner. That wouldn't make any sense. So all this outrage and stuff, listen, I know how much games used to cost on Super Nintendo, N64. Those games were very expensive. Sega Genesis. Those games were expensive. And with inflation, they're way more expensive now. Gaming is way more accessible now than it ever was. So
yeah, exactly. We just spoke about that.
This whining and complaining is just stupid to me.
Yeah. And I agree in the sense is that I think that I think if you look at it from the PC perspective, which you shouldn't have, is that they are trying to say $10 to activate PlayStation 5 features. And that's what I will go into as we get into the media stuff, but like Dustin Geary is kind of like going to that where he was saying like to access the features of the PlayStation 5, they're putting it behind a paywall, whatever like that. Meanwhile,
no, that's not true.
I know that's their perspective. That's his perspective of looking at it.
You can't utilize those features on the PS4 game.
Exactly.
You have to have the PS5
and this is the point where you look at it because again, Xbox is not immune to this. Wreckfest, Tony Hawk Skater, all those had a $10 upgrade path to play the Series X version. The difference...
They did?
Yes, they did, yes.
I didn't know. I don't... You
yes,
can't... Microsoft doesn't allow you to charge for next-gen
upgrades. No. See, that's the thing that goes around the internet.
Unless they've changed.
This is the difference. And you hear it here. This is the truth. Like, there's no spin to this. The Activision Well, with Wreckfest, there's a $10 upgrade fee that increases the multiplayer count, gives it native 4K and 60 frames per second, and added better damage modeling and stuff like that. That is a $10 upgrade for Wreckfest. Tony Hawk increased its resolution and stuff for $10 on both PlayStation and on Xbox. Xbox had that $10 upgrade. The difference is that in some games, the Xbox, the way they built it with backwards compatibility is that the games will recognize, and this is that smart delivery shit, or whatever the hell they call it, whereas their backwards compatible games will see the benefits of the Series X without the dev doing anything. And some people are talking about this as these are the free upgrades. They're not the same thing as where Sony actually has a PlayStation 5 version. And I'm going to explain this just like we did in last generation. If you bought an Xbox 360 game and Call of Duty Ghosts came out on the Xbox One, you didn't automatically get Call of Duty Ghosts on the Xbox One. There was an upgrade path to play the Xbox One game. What's happening now is because of backwards compatibility, there's confusion as to what you're getting. There's no generational cutoff where there was no backwards compatibility, so you have to get the game. So if you remember at the end of the 360 and the PlayStation 3 generation, they would have these upgrade paths where some of them were automatically going to give you the next generation game, and some wanted you to buy an upgrade path to get it. I had to do it for Call of Duty Ghosts. I started it on the 360, and to get it on the Call of Duty Ghost on the Xbox One, I had to pay an upgrade to get the game on the Xbox One. That's what you do between generations. The difference here is that we're able to still play our games from the previous generation, and Xbox has done a better job of making their old games, or the games that are on the Xbox One X. Plus, on a side note, they had the most powerful last-gen console where devs were already taking advantage of extra teraflops, that it's easier to bring, that those games would be functioning at a higher level in backwards compatibility mode. Because Xbox doesn't really have a Series X version of all their games. A lot of their games are just smart delivery. They're basically just Xbox One X games, just seeing the extra power of the Series X and jacking up the resolution and whatever features that they're going to add for that stuff. PlayStation has a whole different type of upgrade path because they have basically a PS4 built into your PlayStation, and then they have a PlayStation 5. They make a place. That's why half of my save bullshit doesn't carry over, because they're two different save files for two different versions of the game. It's not the same game. That's why Xbox has a better save over. You don't lose your save, where sometimes PlayStation you lose your save when they upgrade their game to the PS5 version because it's a different console generation. However, there are some games that teeter on the line, like Ghost of Tsushima, like Last of Us 2, where PlayStation basically just unlocked the frame rate and made it take advantage of the extra power of the PS5. Not full advantage, not activity cards, not rumble features, not adaptive triggers, not 3D audio, not quick saves, none of that stuff that comes with the PS5. So why are people sitting here going, why is my PlayStation 4 version not using the features of the PlayStation 5? It's a PS4 game.
Right.
That's the problem. It's a PS4. I know it's a long-winded explanation, but I had to explain this situation because people are just so confused with this stuff. Now, there's no right or wrong way, and I said this last week. Everybody's going to tap the waters of what they're going to do, but everybody's leaning towards you're going to pay $70 for a next-gen version of the game. We have yet to see Microsoft really flex this because they really don't have a lot at all. There's no games from Xbox. Psychonauts 2, there's no $70 version of Psychonauts 2 because it's a $40 game. Also, Halo is a $60 campaign. The multiplayer is free. So you're just getting a $60 package of a campaign, which they're hiding from everybody, which is interesting. But that's a $60 game for the single player. But PlayStation has a PlayStation 5 game, because I know when I play a game, if it doesn't use the adaptive triggers and doesn't use that is a key indicator that I'm playing the PS4 version of the game, not the PS5 version. So, and these $10 upgrades exist on both platforms. Like, they're there, and publishers are doing different things for it. But what I do like what Sony's doing, at least they're offering new content. And this is not just a $10 upgrade path to get Rumble and a controller. At least it's coming with new content, new features, new things. Somebody said right here, the Game Night says, Kojima Productions said that the content they're introducing in Death Stranding was all built and developed from the ground up for the game. Now, whatever they say, but I'm just saying it's new content for the PS5 version. And that's the thing. And that's where all this confusion is. And like Link said, it's your money. You do what you want. If you don't want to pay $70, don't. You don't want to pay $10, don't. You want to subscribe to Game Pass and not get any of these games? Do it. Mm-hmm. But don't sit there and charm and lament over these Dungeons and Dragons and games that you would never be interested in if it wasn't for Game Pass, and then look over across the river and go, these people playing high quality games, winning awards, games that are incredible looking, that got free content last year with a whole multiplayer attached onto it, and go to those people and go, you shouldn't pay $10 for new content when you're sitting here rubbing your nipples over a service that has a whole bunch of games that you would never play. But they're in the service, so you might as well play them. I'm not hungry, but I guess I'll eat something. Like, enjoy that garbage. Because all you do is, you're not even talking about the garbage in there. Instead, you're talking about the future, which you don't even know what the hell those games are. But you're telling me that this is the shit, though. Go play a bunch of games. You have the time to waste. I don't have time to waste. There's new games, there's new content, new features to flex my PlayStation 5. Because guess what? We talked 2 years about 12 teraflops. Psychonauts 2's coming out. How many teraflops is that using? 2? There you go. Ratchet and Clank. Those games are using the power of the system. If these games now that looked incredible on the PS4 are going to look even better and play better and have more features to them and more content on the PlayStation 5 that you just went out and slept on the side of a street to get the goddamn console, let them pay the $10 while you wait 2 years to find out what the fuck Fable's about.
Right. Right. The people who are... a lot of these complaints, some of it's fans, but when did we start demanding everything for free?
When your library consists of a bunch of games that you would never play before, that were given to you. That's the thing. Like, I think the standards, the standards of gaming have dropped because of game. Like, the standards have dropped. Like, it's like, people. I would never try Dungeons and Dragons if it wasn't in Game Pass. Well, I'm glad you're wasting your time. Like, I'm glad you have time to waste. Like, I would never try this game, but it's coming to Game Pass. I guess I'll give it a shot. I'm like, that's all I hear about the benefits of Game Pass. People go, I play games I would never play before. If that's how you game, you have no say in how to spend money. All right? Because you're basically spending $15 a month for the hope of games that are coming out in the future. And that's why people are, why you have Game Pass? You know why? Because The Ascent is coming to Game Pass and I want to play it. And I'm going to take from them everything and give them nothing. I'm going to use my free month and play The Ascent. And have another month of Game Pass and use that. I'm not going to sit here and pay $15 a month and listen to insiders and media tell me about Fable, Halo, Playground's new project. This new project. Why am I spending money now for a game that might not be coming in 2 years? What, you think I just want to give somebody $360 while I play games that I wouldn't play before? Like, to who's wasting money where? You, Link, say, I'm paying $10 because I love the goddamn game and I want to play new content. I beat the game. I want to play all this new stuff. I wanted to play on my PlayStation 5. Here's $10. But somebody who's just given $15 a month to play games that they've never tried before, they have something to say about your $10. Oh, no, $10 upgrade. Oh, $10. You're paying $5 more than that to try games. Whose judgment's better? Who's using their money spent wisely? I like, you explain to me. You are a targeted audience. They're making content for you and you're paying content for a service. Now, if I don't think that's worth it, I don't pay it. No problem lost. However, if I'm constantly just opening up my window and throwing out there $15 a month, going, I hope something comes. I hope I get a delivery. I hope something I like shows up to my house. Here's $15. Throw it out the window. I don't know what I'm going to get this month. Here's $15. Here's $15. They delayed it a year, but I'll pay you another year of $15, $180. It seems like you're just throwing your money away with the hope that you might see something in the service that appeals to you or something to try out. Or maybe you'll get hooked on a game, and then when it leaves the service, they'll make you pay top dollar with a 10% discount to buy it. Like I showed 2 weeks ago. That finesse right there. Like, I understand this thing is new. And I said this before. They will test the market on this thing, just like they did it with the $10 pass. And if people are not spending buying these director's cuts, not paying the $10, this will be adjusted accordingly. Remember Horse Armor, Xbox fans. Remember Horse Armor. DLC. Guess who did Horse Armor? Our good friends at Bethesda. The first content of DLC dropped for Oblivion. Of Elder Scrolls. Horse Armor. They hyped up DLC. Right? Horse Armor dropped. I think it was... How much was Horse Armor? I think it was $5 or $10 for Horse Armor. And people were like, no way. You ever hear the Horse Armor? Link, you ever hear that?
Yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah. Horse Armor Pack launched and was priced astronomical. Nowadays, it's $2.50. Still, I think, overpriced. You can order it today, Horse Armor. But it became a mockery. Because I want to see how much it launched at. I thought it launched at like $10. Let's see. Remember. April 2006, it released the first planned expansion content for Oblivion. The release was the infamous Horse Armor Pack. For 200 Microsoft points, $2.50, or $1.99 on PC, players could purchase the Horse Armor. And it got laughed out. It got laughed out because they're like, what? People like $2.50 for Horse Armor? And they flipped out. And
how much is a kill animation on Gears of War?
Exactly. But you got to remember, this was 2006. This was when DLC was like, what's going on? Like, you know, what's this DLC? You're going to add content to my games? Horse Armor dropped. And $2.50 for armor for my horse? That's stupid. I'm not doing that. And it got pushed back. And they say, at a time when players were shocked that publishers would charge extra money for content that develop has finished making prior to the game's release, we've spent a decade holding up Horse Armor as an example of DLC gone wrong. All the while, publishers and players alike slowly but surely converged on the model of moderately priced cosmetic upgrades. So look at all the hoopla right now about this $10 thing. It'll pass, and the market will decide whether these things are worth it or not. And the market's going to decide based on how the content is presented. You know? And that's the way it's going to be. So we will see. It's the value. We will see on how this goes. But I think these two examples of Ghosts and Death Stranding, I think are fine. Like I think adding new content with that attached is a good way of making it palatable. Because if you just said $10 to add Rumble or $10 to just, make this look shiny, again, you got to understand the upgrade path too. Like, this is the PS5 version. They could just say, hey, you want to know what? You've owned Ghost of Tsushima on the PS4. Well, here's Ghost of Tsushima for the PS5. $70. $60. If you want the PS5 version, you got to buy the game again. That won't go over well at all. But if you believe in generations and you say, well, hey, I bought the Xbox 360 version of Call of Duty. Well, I want the Xbox One version of Call of Duty. Well, it's a new console. We have an Xbox One version of the game for you. You got to buy it again, $60. You missed it. You bought and you want to compare it to PC. PC is not the same thing in the sense is that you're right. It's built into the system and it's just a toggle based off the capability of your machine. But I guarantee you, if they were adding content to that game, maybe you get an upgrade. Maybe. VFX says, even at $40 a month, if Xbox games and Game Pass every month, that'll still be value. They won't complain at the point Xbox will be choosing games that you play full control. Yeah. Exactly. They're going to increase that. At $15 a month, that'll be increased. But the thing is that it's your money. You do what you want. And if everybody follows that, the market will decide whether this is this. But I think that the way they're being presented, I do think that it is definitely not a scheme. It's not a scam. It's definitely something that has value to it because, first off, you got to remember, too, it's coming out at a time when people are hungry for content for their new consoles. And I'm talking about PlayStation because Xbox hasn't delivered the new powerful content for their new consoles. They haven't. The Medium, which ran at a horrible resolution for the power of that console, Xbox has really not shown the flex at all of the Series X at all. And we talked about teraflops for 2 years before this game. We knew project codes of it. And it didn't show the power of it. So for them, yeah, you should be hungry too for next-gen content. PlayStation is delivering it. So if they want to add content and add a sheen to it, the people will pay if they find value in it. And also, too, the last point about this is that the games that they're adding this stuff to Death Stranding, I guess, was successful to some extent, but like Ghost of Tsushima, these were complete games and incredible games, and they looked incredible on the PlayStation 4. Death Stranding did too. And to see these games running even better on the next-gen console is just icing on the cake to the new experiences that you're getting with the additional content, plus with the other games like Returnal and Ratchet that they're going to be releasing, and the next Horizon, and the next God of War, and the next GTA. Like, you're getting all those games, plus you get these other games to do that. And there's some devs that are willing to just upgrade it for free. But you know what? You got to think about Final Fantasy. Why did they give you that free upgrade? Why? Because they wanted you to buy the Yuffie DLC. You see? So if they would have said, oh, well, it's $10 upgrade and then Yuffie DLC. No, they wanted to sell that DLC. So they made the upgrade path not a pivot. They wanted to make sure that you upgrade and you're all in there looking at the glitz and the glam of Final Fantasy. Oh, and here's some extra content. Now you're more willing to pay for it. They wanted to push the DLC for them. They wanted to sell the Yuffie DLC. So they didn't want to put an upgrade barrier there. But you know what? Activision's doing it. And that's the thing. Like, these people that are championing no $70 games, your back is going to be put against the wall eventually, because this is the way. You want to tell me Game Pass and subscriptions is the future 5-6 years from now, I could tell you right now from my insiders. Oh, sure it is. Insider. There will be more $70 games in the future for Xbox. So be careful what you're saying. Because your game is going to come around. Russian roulette style. The game that you want, the GTA, the Call of Duty, the Fable. It's going to come around. And when they're $70, because they will be, I want to see everybody go, oh, well, it's my game. I like it. So understand it. It's coming. The industry. Now, I'm going to give you a double header. Inside the topic. We're going to the Grindstable for the last few minutes here. Insiders are confirmed. Insiders are confirmed. All right. I'm going to tell you right now, here's insider. My insider's confirmed from what I heard is that there will be a blue PlayStation DualSense in the future. I can't tell you where I heard it from, but I have good resources, good insiders here that told me that there will be a blue DualSense. As to the color blue, the shade, I don't know. They didn't give me that much detail, but there will be a blue one. So hit that like button and follow my channel for more insider tips. Insider tips from my sources. Well, I have good, reliable sources. They're pretty good. But there will be a blue DualSense controller. So I'm an insider. Yes, that's my insider stuff. What? What's coming in? What? I can tell them? Another tip! I got another insider. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is incredible. This one? Oh my God. I got another one. This is a huge one. Wow. And this is from my other sources. I'm sorry. I got some Xbox sources, all right? They told me this, all right? All right, you ready? Get ready. Write the articles. I'm an insider. I heard this. Here it is. This one's a big one. Phil Spencer will eventually resign from Microsoft in the future. Jesus. That's a doozy. That's a doozy. Wow. I can't believe I just dropped that news here with the grinders. Well, that's what happens. I hit over 900 grinders. I had to drop this news. Just to repeat again. 2 of them. There will be a blue PlayStation DualSense controller. And the second one, huge news, hot off the presses. Phil Spencer will eventually retire from Microsoft in the future. This is huge. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Amazing. Game night, write it down on my notepad. The articles, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle all the traffic coming from that news. That is just huge. That's from good sources. I got some great sources right here. Amazing. I can't believe I could confirm that live. But yeah, it's true. Wow. I got to catch my breath from that one because that was just, my goodness. Wow. Like, you believe that? You believe I have that kind of news to share?
I like it. I believe it.
You believe it? I know. How can you not believe it? I'm 100% with my predictions. 100%. They're going to happen. 100%. This is 100%. Everything that I say will come true. Or has it. I'm 100%. And now, we're going to take that. Insiders and media, we're going to the Grindstable. Let's go. All right. We are at the Grindstable, man. I just dropped that hot news. Hopefully I have a couple more before I wrap up this evening. But, so yeah, speaking about insiders and media, man, oh man, has it become a friggin' shit show. Capital S. Emphasize on the shit. It has been a wild time, I tell you. Insiders and the media that follows these insiders. Listen. Everybody's an insider. Everybody has something to say. But I do think there needs to be a distinction from prediction and facts. Like, I really think that people's predictions are turning into news. And then when that doesn't happen, they kind of double down on it, or they go, well, that's not what I heard. Oh, I'm hearing things now. Oh, it's changing the next year. Oh, yeah. Listen. It's dry. It's dry season right now. And some of these predictions, I can tell you, I have the Xbox Ones, they live and breathe on these. This is what carries their shows. Some guy goes, it's buying season now for studios. They're not done. 20 shows. So Microsoft's still going to buy studios. Okay. For what game? I don't know. But they're not done. Okay. 20 articles. Like, I don't understand that where this is going. Like, it just the thing is that I understand that it is a very challenging time now with news and just with these things, but like Microsoft right now, everybody is living off of these rumors and speculation and hopes and dreams. And then the Sony group is like, what about us? Where's our news about this? Because Microsoft, they're talking about everything from Phil kissing babies, Matt Booty clapping in the streets, buying studios, the checkbook is open, Phil took everybody out to dinner. They're in the news every goddamn day. Sony is quiet. But I can tell you this right now. There are no Sony insiders. Right now. Sony insiders are bogus. They're just trying to get on the Me Too insider thing. I'm an insider too. So they just say some outrageous things like, there will be a PlayStation showcase. Okay. Next month. Okay. 2 weeks. Okay. They're going to show God of War and Horizon. Okay. Like, that is really not insider stuff because that pretty much makes sense. Like, of course, yeah, they'll show Horizon. And as you get closer to its anticipated release, possibly this year, unless there's a surprise that gets delayed, yeah. I could see that. But did you hear it from Gordon Ramsay, Jim Ryan, or somebody at Sony? Is that what you heard? Or is that you just predicting this stuff? Globzilla says, a blue DualSense pre-orders. That's it. Everybody's going to get mad at me. They can go, I went to GameStop and there's no blue DualSense. The insider told me. I didn't tell you when. I said the future. But just like how people will go, well, I hear that the power of the Xbox is going to give you these deltas and these frame rates and stuff. From who? I can't tell you. But I just know just what the power is. It makes sense. Well, so wait. Did somebody specifically tell you that's running that? Or is that what you're assuming based off the information that you have? See, that's where my problem comes with. That becomes a media article. Because the media is dog shit. There is no such thing as gaming news anymore. It is just Twitter bullshit. All right? The IGN is trash. GameSpot, garbage. Kotaku, a bunch of bitches. They are all garbage. There is no more gaming journalism. If somebody said they're going to gaming journalism, I will give them a smack upside the head and say, go get a real job. There is no such thing as gaming journalism. It is just hearsay and horse shit. The double H's. Hearsay and horse shit. It is somebody told me something while I was taking a shit, and now I'm going to write it on the article. Let's see how many clicks I get. They write a whole goddamn article for some person that says, Phil Spencer will be like, we believe, and then they'll be like, Phil Spencer says that he's going to go to cloud gaming because, quote, we believe that is the future. He just said the word we believe, and you turned it into a whole goddamn article. Phil will be like, I like cloud, quote. They'll be like, the future of Xbox is cloud because Phil said in a quote, I like cloud, unquote. This is the future for Microsoft because Phil said that, quote, again, I'm going to say it again, when he was asked again, I like clouds. Meanwhile, the motherfucker was talking about the weather. I don't know. This is ridiculous. Why is this news? I click on these articles, and I'm like, they have these bogus-ass titles. Exactly. Sasha goes, quote, he says we, and they go, we, Xbox Hive Mind in the works. It's like, dude, it just... Game Night says he throws his gaming journalism application outside the window. Now, granted, there might be maybe a couple of people here or there, but what it used to be, man, remember, like, I remember, who was it? Remember the 1UP show? Like, they had some fun stuff. There was, like, Joystick, and they had Leroy, they had a whole bunch, like, there was definitely, even Giant Bomb back in the day. Like, Giant Bomb, like, would hold some news and stuff, but they just kind of devolved into just them bullshitting about stuff. But, like, there was legit insider news. Like, they were, and now anybody is an insider. Anybody could just say whatever they want. They come on a podcast, they say some stuff, and then articles are written about it. And these articles, none of these websites have clout. All they do is just copy rumors off of, or just statements off of YouTube or Twitter. And they're paid websites. It is ludicrous. And then you have some of the biggest websites that are still around that have, like, the face of them is just prancing around on Twitter just saying whatever the hell they want. One-sided, not, bias, everything. Bias media, whatever the hell you want to say. But, like, these faces of these websites going on shows, doing this stuff, saying whatever their fandom is. And then you're supposed to say, I'm supposed to read a legit non-biased article from you on your website? After all you're doing is fighting with fanboys and people on the internet, calling them names, going under stuff. And you want to see something crazy? You want to talk about gaming journalism? This thing, this boggled my mind here, Link. And this is the thing, this boggled my mind right here. Look at this, okay? There was definitely the IGN podcast, Ryan McCaffrey, Dustin Laguerre, and the stuff. But Dustin has turned over a new leaf. And I thought it was funny that somebody went through, I don't know, it was King Thresh, somebody was going through his stuff and going, like, realizing, like, when he was covering Destiny, he was getting a certain amount of likes, hits, and stuff.
Right.
As soon as he started kind of, like, poking fun at PlayStation and then going balls out fanboying with Xbox, he's, like, hit, like, 11,000 views, 20,000 views, 30,000 views. His viewership has shot up. Now, I guess this is independent of IGN because this is a side bitch, for his channel, I guess. But this is the thing that boggles my mind, right? And where is it? and this is, and I can understand. He's an Xbox fan. Fine. Okay? Fine. But this is the weirdest thing that I thought if somebody is in let me read it first. Let me show it. It goes back to the whole here, I gotta shit, I had it up. Nah, I had it here. Where the hell is it? Where is this thing? Yeah. This is the thing. Shout out. I think Guapzilla was actually getting it with Dustin. And maybe that's how I found out, because Guapzilla was in the chat, was in here. But this is the thing I just wanted to point out. And again, I'm not. This is just. I wanted to show this thing because this is something that I just wanted to. And this is the thing what I took from it. They were talking about this $10 upgrade thing, right? And he's talking about Iki Island and the director's cut and the upgrade, and he called about paywalls, right? The features behind paywalls. So he's thinking if you're playing the game on the PS5. That $10 upgrade fee or whatever is a fee to access the PS5 features, where he's not realizing that it's becoming, they're upgrading this to be a PlayStation 5 game, so it's a $10 upgrade fee to play it on the PlayStation 5. He's just looking at it as that they're paywalling PlayStation 5 features, which makes no sense. It's like, well, right. I guess that the medium on the Series X is a paywall because you can't play the medium without a console. So I guess the Series X and the S are paywalls for this. Like, everybody likes to throw out this paywall bullshit, especially being an Xbox Live fan where you've been jerked off with 2 hands and poked in the ass for Xbox Live since the dawn of time, talking about paywalls with Netflix and stuff. So, Xbox fans should be the last people talking about paywalls. Like we've been jerked off through 8s from Sunday since the beginning of Xbox Live, but it was worth it to us. It was worth it for me. But now we talk about paywalls, and again, it's an Xbox problem. These whole hiding people away. But anyway, that's another side topic. I don't give a fucking paywall bullshit. Pay what you want, right? But this is the thing, because Guapzilla makes the point about Wreckfest. Like I was saying, Wreckfest is $10. Paywall, Wreckfest has done it. But this is where I don't understand this thing. You work for IGN. You should be in the know, right? You have a website. You have all these viewers. You work for a gaming media website. Day in and day out. That's your job. His response, Corgi says, it wouldn't fit his narrative. He goes, well, it was free on Xbox, so, and shows the article from GameRant.com. You have 61,000 followers. You work at IGN. How can you be ignorant to just Google an article that's incorrect from GameRant and use it to fight a console war on the internet? I don't understand it. I'm just shocked. It's like, this is something you would see from like some just like crazy Xbox, some crazy fan that wouldn't know what the hell's going on. Blah, I just Googled it. You work for IGN. You're supposed to be this insider, respected, guest. I'll be a guest on your show. I don't understand. How can you be so ignorant to this? PlayStation 5 upgrade. Yeah, what?
What did he say again? What did he say?
He goes, well, it was free on Xbox, so.
What was free on Xbox?
The Wreckfest update. He don't even know that there was a $10 charge for Wreckfest.
Right, we just talked about that.
Exactly. I don't work for IGN. I have something that's completely different. I don't work in the video game industry.
You don't even know what he's talking about.
How the hell you live and breathe the video game industry? How the hell? First off, if you even followed Twitter with your 61,000 people and stop sniffing Phil's ass, you would know that people were going after the THQ Nordic because of this $10 upgrade. Because they were adding it and they were like, well, this is the time for the devs. THQ was slapping people left and right, justifying this $10 upgrade. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, disclaimer, it's not worth the $10. You want to know why? Because the anti-consumer Sony company Anti-consumer, shame on them. A goddamn Gordon Real, Phil Ramsey, whatever the hell his name is. They gave it to us a month in advance in PlayStation Plus. Oh shit! What? There's another service besides the holy Game Pass? Yeah, PlayStation Plus gave this game in there for free with the $10 upgrade for free, if you want to call it free. That's what everybody does nowadays. You pay a subscription, but it's free. But it was in PlayStation Plus a month early, and it was the $10 upgrade. So only people that will be bitching about this would be the Xbox ones who didn't get the $10 upgrade and had to wait a month for it. That was all over the internet. I don't work for IGN. How do you... And where's your article about it? The upgrade that Xbox Series X got was the 60 frames per second upgrade because it saw the upgrade for the Series X. It was the backwards compatibility update, but they still were charging $10 to add dirt, like feeling dirt on the car. More people in multiplayer. There was a $10 upgrade cost for that. But you go Google Game Rant, who wrote an incorrect article and never fixed it. But that's your proof for an argument that you shouldn't even be having. And then he said something stupid last week, too, about the Sony were having 5 studios or buying 5 things. And he had to retract that because he said, oh, they only bought 2 studios. Like, and he was talking about the other studios. Like, dude, I don't know what you're doing. But as a person that's part of an IGN, if you want any clout for that goddamn shit-ass website, you acting a fool on Twitter is not helping it. Like, stay in your lane, all right? Like, stop trying to... If you have a problem with it, then you get all your facts together and go write a goddamn article about it and publish it on IGN. That's what a journalist would do. Not go Google Game Rant and put some bogus goddamn website that makes you look like a fool. That's where I had the problem. You having this bitch face back and forth. Nah, whatever. I know where your fandom is. How are you ignorant not to know about the Wreckfest update? Grinders. Like, I just think, like, you know, am I holding these people too high of a standard? Like, am I? You know, the same thing goes for, like, Grubb on the thing. Like, you know, he just spits out all this random shit and people write articles to the cows come home. Mm-hmm. But how much of it is his opinion and how much of this stuff is actual insider knowledge? Because he just says a whole bunch of stuff. Now he's on Giant Bomb. Like, he got so much clout. He was on VentureBeat. He's been on websites. He goes all over the place. But he says, like, whatever he wants. And some of the stuff sounds like prediction. And some of it is this. But the media doesn't have a filter. As Jeff Grubb may predict, they're running there going, Xbox is going to do this. This game's releasing at 22. Per Jeff Grubb. Like, they act like he is goddamn Phil Spencer. So I don't understand, like, you know, is that like, differentiate from opinion. And know what else is hilarious? There's no more sources anymore. Like, then there's no more, like, let me cross-reference this with somebody. Somebody comes on here and goes, I'm going to take a shit. 20 articles. He's taking a shit. He's taking a shit. Oh, my God. He's doing it. He's doing it. Oh, my God. And they retweet. And meanwhile, nobody cross-referenced. Nobody asked my wife, did he take a shit? No. Nobody's cross-referencing that. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's no, oh, well, you know what? I heard that Starfield is going to be coming out this year. Starfield's coming out 2021 confirmed. Jeff Grubb. I'm like, I'm reading this as Jeff Grubb said this on his podcast. I'm like, but he is. I'm like, okay, well, why are you writing confirmed?
Right. I don't trust a lot of stuff he say.
Like, I'm like, you know, and what's funny is that he even sometimes double downs on stuff, right? So, like, this one where he said this article 3 days ago, and this kind of alludes to the whole, like, I go outside and go, it's going to rain in the future. It's going to rain. It's not rain today. I go outside. It's going to rain. Didn't rain today. But if I do that every single day, eventually it's going to rain. And then I'm going to be like, see, I'm right. So, like, if you keep saying this, what are you going to say? And that's exactly the example of what we have with some of this stuff. It's just like, I just go outside and say it's going to rain every day, and then eventually I'll be right. So if I just keep going around Twitter right now and saying there will be a DualSense controller that's blue, like I heard from my insiders, I'll just keep saying it, and then one day I'll be right if I'm still here. I was like, yeah, see? I was correct. Insiders are right. You know, I said about 4 years ago on Playing Xbox, the old Playing Xbox, old crew, Halo Infinite was going to be a platform to deliver content to. Should I say now that I'm right? I didn't have insiders. I didn't know anybody. I just saw what Microsoft was saying. I saw and I heard what they were saying, and heard how it was called Halo Infinite, and that they're just scrapping that whole thing and knowing Game Pass is the future. And I'm like, it's going to be like a Minecraft. They're just going to make this sandbox, which they're calling it a sandbox, and they're just going to just keep adding stuff to it, like weapons and content. And I was, and at the time, that was unheard of. So I was getting belabored by Smooth and Addict. Everybody was just like, you crazy, what are you talking about? They'll never do it to Halo, blah, blah, blah. Then I even said in 2017 that Xbox, when they were fixing Master Chief Collection for the One X, they were saying. I'm like, no, they're not. I'm like, they're fixing Master Chief Collection because they're going to put it on PC. Oh my God, they'll never put Halo on PC. What are you talking about? I'm like, why would they spend 2 years of not doing anything with Master Chief Collection just to say that they're going to fix it now? Oh, they're fixing it for the One X. That's what they're doing. They're not going to waste their time fixing it for a console that didn't launch yet. They're fixing it because they're going to put it on PC. That's what I said. No way, no way. Let's bet. I don't bet. End of this year is going to come out on PC. And if I would have bet the semantics, it didn't come out that year. But guess what? February, they announced it. So I probably would have lost the bet. But I didn't have insiders. So nobody wrote articles about what Grinds My Gears said 3 years ago. Like, this is the thing. Like, what is news? What is insiders? What is true stuff? And what is speculation? There needs to be a filter. Because I'm tired of clicking on bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of them guys, like Jeff Grubb, have been wrong so many times.
He's still double downing on this, dude. Look at here. Do you hear this thing? He goes here. In the past, I've said that Xbox Live is going away. I started saying that Xbox Live Gold was still required for free-to-play games. He said that was going to change with Halo Infinite. I know for a fact they're going to make a change before Halo Infinite, and I know for a fact. Okay. I thought that this would at least be dropped for free-to-play games because they weren't going to charge to play Halo on Xbox, and they were charging people to play it for PC, whatever. Which is hilarious, is that I've been complaining about that for the last 5 years, where Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, Gears 4, Gears 5, every single game was free to play on PC, but you had to pay to play it on Xbox.
Right.
So 5 years have gone by of this model, and he's like, they were never going to charge people to play Halo online. They've been doing it for 4 years, or 5 years already. Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, Gears 4, Gears 5. Keep going. Minecraft Dungeons. Pay to play. Xbox requires Xbox Live. Nobody, but that wasn't a complaint, though, right? Nah. PC is free. No guys, PC is free. But he goes here. Then they decided to raise the price. It looked weird, right? Why would they do that if they're going to get rid of Live Gold? I just want to reiterate, Xbox Live Gold is still on board somewhere saying this is going to go away at some point. Dropping gold, here he goes. Dropping gold might take years because the focus right now still very much is getting Game Pass into a very healthy position. People at Microsoft are getting a little antsy because we need to do this thing now to grow. The problem is we're waiting for big games to come to the service. This sounds like if somebody said this, they'll be, you're a fearmonger. What are you doing? You're fearmongering. What do you mean? The service is doing great. What do you mean it needs to grow? Why would it need to cancel? Everybody's great. It seems that E3 really helped Game Pass hit its stride, where people can now look forward to the future and say, if I get it now, I'm going to have all these games. But then there's going to be this and this and this right in the immediate future, and then these big things on the horizon. I don't think anybody said they're signing up for Game Pass right now for games that didn't even have a date next to them, a year nonetheless. So Microsoft is just keeping to get their user acquisition. He says they're keeping their heads down on getting their user acquisition. Xbox Live will go away, but we need to get a certain threshold with Game Pass before we make the right choice. Like I said, Satya's number, right? I said this. I don't know insiders. Now here we go. Grubb believes that once Game Pass hits 30 million, Microsoft will release their plans with Xbox Live Gold, but they won't likely drop it together until Game Pass hits 40 to 50 million active subscribers. I heard, there you go, it was between 19 million and 23 million before E3. And they're at least approaching 23 million. But they're at least approaching 23 million. And as we get close to Halo, I bet they hit 23 to 25 million by the end of the year. And once at 30 million, they'll probably reassess to what they're doing with Xbox Live Gold. It probably won't go away until it's closer to 40 or 50 million active users for Game Pass. But all that stuff seems to be within their grasp right now as they keep up the marketing and promotional side with the things. We'll see how it goes with Halo. If Halo's a big lightning rod for adaptation of Game Pass, then we'll know. Oh, and then when Starfield is going, first of all, Starfield is a single-player game. It doesn't require Xbox Live at all, so I don't know why they would drop Xbox Live for Starfield, because Starfield doesn't use it. Then as the big games come out in 2023, they should be hitting pretty fast cadence in terms of releasing games. Game Pass should now be at the point to hit its stride and should be well on their way to getting rid of Xbox Live Gold. But the main point for now is Xbox Live Gold is sticking around and still on the roadmap to go away for good. So, when Xbox Live goes away in 2023, 2024, he could be like, see? I told you in 2021 it was going to go away. This is obvious. This makes complete obvious. They don't want people on Xbox Live Gold. Just look at games with gold. Oh, shit, I released my sources. Guess who my sources have been, guys? My two fucking eyeballs. Just look at what they're doing. You could say this. There's no insider knowledge here. Look at games with gold. Games with gold sucks.
It's obvious. They're wanting you to look at Game Pass as a better value.
Obviously. Yes. No shit.
They're putting the shittiest games possible.
Exactly. Just look at games with gold. My two fucking eyeballs just showed me. Yeah. Look at them increasing the price. You act like, oh, I understand that it went away, but the fact that that was publicly released, that wasn't no rumor. That wasn't no speculation. That was their Xbox Wire website. This was a go. This was a go. And they got smacked upside the head, and Phil Ness did not beat through this thing. So that was a go. Why would they increase the price of gold if they were supposed to get it away? Because what they wanted to do was devalue gold to make you not want it. A natural release. Gold is trash. Instead of forcing you to migrate over, because that's going to be the next step. That's going to be the Ninja Shroud move, is going to be the forceful nature of leaving Xbox Live Gold. Because guess what, everybody? The numbers are not there. They're not there. And I'm going to just, and I said this, again, I just want to highlight what I pointed out was that, you know, people don't want to say this, but like Microsoft released Game Pass numbers of 18 million at Christmas. At the end of the year, 18 million, they said at their quarterly meeting. They didn't announce it in March. Satdya didn't say what their numbers were. And they didn't announce it at the second quarter. And they didn't announce it at E3. They did not announce what the numbers were. And I said this last year, was that they said, hey, we're at 10 million. During the pandemic, they jumped to 15 million in September. And then they went up 5 million from 10 to 15 over the course of the summer. And then in the biggest holiday season, the biggest months, 2 brand new consoles. You signed EA Play, and you released, the what game was it? There was you had 2 new consoles and stuff like that. In the biggest holiday season, they went from 15 million to 18 million. And I was like, wait a second. You're telling me during the dire months of the summer, you increased 5 million, but during the biggest holiday season where you made a big move for EA Play to be thrown in there, more value, you released 2 brand new next-gen consoles to take advantage of all those Game Pass games, which it wasn't a lot. But still, you launched a new console. That's always like a big deal, right? And you would think with a brand new console, you would get a whole bunch more subs, right? Hey, I'm going to buy this X and I'm going to buy Game Pass. I have all these games on day one. Remember, that was the marketing of it because they didn't have any launch lineup. You would think they would have this huge influx of subscribers with 2 brand new consoles, especially a lower priced one that's more accessible. I'll get Game Pass with my new console. Then you only went up 3 million? I thought you would do more than 5. If you did 5 over 3 months over the summertime, the dead of the summer, how the hell would you not do more than that? The numbers were drying up. Hence, here comes the next quarter. They don't announce the Game Pass numbers. Hence, here comes the second quarter. They don't announce the Game Pass numbers. You got E3 coming up. Great time to announce how Game Pass is huge, especially you're going to show 30 games in Game Pass. Why don't you tell us how the Game Pass numbers are going in a post-interview or something? No. Instead, they got Jez Corden, Grubb throwing out, they're approaching 22, 23. Dude, even if they came out and said that they were at 23 now at E3, that would be shitty. They went from 18 million. So you're telling me they went from 18 million to 23 million, 5 million in 7 months, 6 months? That's not good. That's less than $1 million a month. That's not good growth. That's not the growth that's growth, but is that Satya's growth? Talking about growth. I got some news for you. Here we go.
A concentration of Halo in a short amount of time, which frankly I think going forward, I like pacing and scarcity. And
Satya's number. Satya's number.
Thing. And
let's
part
see
of
it.
this
Phil
was
Ness.
We'd really been running on variants of the Halo engine from the beginning.
Absolutely excited here. Speaking of expanding in a big way, Mixer has grown quite significantly here in the last year. We just recently celebrated our anniversary.
Yeah.
A lot of Mixer fans and community are out there. What can we expect for the future of Mixer? Like, what's the next big step for us?
You know, I should be asking you that. You're the Mixer team, but the thing. Well, one, we talked about 20 million viewers on stage.
Yeah, for those listening,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, well, everybody was listening. What are you talking
Some people
about?
missed it a little bit, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we did. We said we
very
get
exciting.
20 million, which I think is great. Mixer is 1 year old, and if you think about if you just going from where we were a year ago, it's like incredible growth, like 5 times growth or something, maybe even more than that. One of the things I've always loved about Mixer, a couple things I think make Mixer unique for us. One is the community and the work that we do to keep it as positive as we can, and I think that's a testament to the team and the sentiment of the team and how they lead and our partners and the way they show up, and I think that's a really great thing about Mixer. Now, it's not always perfect in every place, but that's great work for us. The other thing I'd say that we don't talk a ton about, so maybe I'll go down this path. The number of streamers we have on Mixer, I think, is incredible. Obviously,
Just the sheer breadth of it.
Yeah, because it's so easy to stream from a Windows device or an Xbox, and it means we get a ton of people streaming. Now, some of those might have 1 or 2 viewers, but I just think as people are learning to stream, it's a little nerve-wracking to kind of put yourself out there. And I love the fact that so many people, new streamers, try streaming through Mixer. It's so easy to do. Setup is pretty trivial. And I just think as the community's growing, as we innovate in what is like Hype Zone and other things, just having more people out there streaming their gameplay gives us a great base to innovate from.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. Obviously, bias as community manager, but it's great to see. It's great to see the community out there really rally on it. Xbox engineering side, Mixer engineering side have done a lot of really cool stuff. Putting native streaming built right into the console, and I tell you, the biggest thing that made the biggest impact was one of the, like, for example, you put the USB camera support in there.
Yeah.
That was huge. The community was dying for that. You guys and girls were asking for it. It was great to see that support and be able to snap in, and then recently a partnership with Lightstream.
Yeah.
So now that basic console streaming setup can take it a step further, so that way, because again, we have that huge breadth of people just trying it out. They're just curious. They just want to try. They want to stream it. They want to give it a chance. And the fact that we can now do things like our Lightstream beta, where people can have scenes, they can have alerts, they can have custom frames, they can have a be right back, or I'm coming live soon.
Like a feature list over here. Look at you. You're just on a roll. Just going. I love it. Now, the innovation that we've done around interactivity, seeing the mini golf game and how many people are going in and playing that, and as we experiment with the community's feedback on places that we need to add. I think the USB camera, obviously we have Kinect. Kinect's kind of an expensive, if you're just using it as an RGB camera, kind of an expensive accessory just for that. So having USB support for cameras, I think was a great addition, and we're very committed to Mixer. You know that. I think it's a great forum for the community to come together. There's some kind of future things I push on that I'd love to see come, and I know they're in the plan, and it's just going to get bigger, which is fantastic.
They definitely.
It's just going to get bigger, which is fantastic. All these features.
Everybody was kind of hit by this.
For huge streamers like Ninja and Shroud, Mixer shutting down meant that they could basically do whatever they wanted. They got their money and their freedom. But for smaller streamers, the people who painstakingly built communities and even careers out of their Mixer channels, the news was devastating.
But when you've put 2 years of your life believing in a platform that was so different, I fully believed in Mixer. I sat there and said, do you know what, no matter what, I know there's issues, but it's different, it's community, it really had such a different feel to it.
It's hard. Oh, it's hard, it's hard. Oh, it is a very emotional roller coaster today.
I have given everything, every dollar I have, every amount of energy I have into this platform because I believed in it.
The offer to move to Facebook is meaningless for most Mixer streamers. They basically have to start from scratch.
I'm now in this point of being someone that has built a career, built a community, having to decide, do I have to rebrand? Will Twitch give me the name that's on an inactive account? Will they not? Do I have to completely change and up?
I want to put the link to this video in here. I watched this. This was very, very emotional seeing that. And, I really think that Microsoft really didn't get the slap in the face they should have, what they did to these people on Mixer. And I know a lot of people that stream to Mixer that were starting there and trying to build a channel and trying to get there, and they did a lot of things. And the finesse of him just going like, we're believing in this thing, they didn't hit the growth. And then what did they do? They try to buy their way. They try to buy that Ninja because he's like, I don't care. People just trying it out in 2018. Even if you just download the game and try it if you don't like it. Oh, did I say that about Game Pass? No, I meant just if you have one streamer or two streamers, it's all right. Like, it's not a big deal. You're just starting out. You're just doing well. Even if you just sign up for Game Pass and try to do you see the parallels? So Bethesda is technically their Ninja and Shroud. Spend the big money, try to get some influx into Game Pass. It's not naturally happening. The numbers are slowing down. What happens when they don't hit Satya's number?
Paying off. But what came next shocked everyone.
1 month. They're giving us 1 month.
Out of nowhere, Mixer announced that they were shutting down. The
Out of
platform was
nowhere.
gone for good on July 22nd.
This is years of hard work for everyone building a really safe platform that clearly didn't have the intentions in the first place.
It's bold, man. That did this.
They've hidden behind such a huge fucking cover. I'm disgusted in Microsoft. I'm disgusted in Mixer.
Mixer's partners, the people who tried to make a career out of streaming on Mixer, were offered a chance to switch over to Facebook Gaming and keep their partners.
How'd that go? Anybody talk about
But
Facebook Gaming
most people
anytime?
weren't really excited about that offer.
It was literally.
What was this part?
Didn't have to grind day in.
I'm joining YouTube.
So when are you leaving 100 Thieves?
Whatever they want.
Shrouds on Mixer.
It's not hard to understand why these big names signed these contracts. Sure, Mixer had a lower viewership, but the money does matter. All of a sudden, these people were free to do whatever they wanted.
Right? So you see, overnight, they killed the community. It was about community, about that stuff. What happens when these numbers are not hitting? If what Grubb says, between 19 and 23 million before E3. Let me see. They had Link, I mean, my predictions are wrong. 18 million in January, but before E3 in July, they're between 19 and 23 million. Well, I hope it's not 19. 19 and 23 million before E3. E3 was in friggin' June. That's 6 months. You're telling me they went from 18 million to somewhere between 19 and 23 in 6 months? Dude.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Mm-hmm. And did they? Exactly. We don't know. Between 19 and 23 million, and maybe by the end of the year they'll hit 25 million. What? If these are true, that means that they went in 1 year they grew 7 million people. What happened to this astronomical growth rate? Phil, let's hear about it.
Means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best work over the last few years with our first-party output.
That's always been a hit on the company on that. Whatever I hear some criticism.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say always. Like I think we've gone through times.
Not to throw mud on you, but I have to know that's a fair. Yeah, I think it's something fair to say.
It is fair to say, and
This is the thing. Mixer was growing, but it didn't grow as fast. And I always say that, VFX, exactly. That's why when you look at Game Pass and people tell me it's the future. We already talked about what a future would be for 2 billion gamers. How does that look? Invincibility mode, anybody? For everybody? I don't know. This game trickling out service, a platform to deliver content? I don't know. But it's in the writing. It's in the cards. So not only you tell me that's the future, but I'm telling you now, is this thing even successful right now? Don't worry about 2023. What's going on right now? If these games are not going to drop, and I'm telling you right, this is the thing. Halo Infinite, all this shit, Link, follow me with this. All this shit went awry. Gaming on PC, shutting down studios, like canceling Scalebound, canceling Fable, shutting down Lionhead, PC gaming, Game Pass, Cloud. It all happened off of the Halo 5. Halo 5 didn't push. They won NPD once when Halo launched, and they never did it. And that thing did not have legs with Halo 5. Halo 5 had, like, people played it, but Halo 5 didn't hit, I think, the way they wanted it to hit. They probably thought that Halo 5 was going to make them at least challenge PlayStation 4, and it didn't. Halo 5 felt flat with the story and didn't really, in the rec packs and stuff like that, like, it didn't have the legs that Halo 3s and all the other ones did. It had a negative connotation to it, and it didn't have the legs. After Halo hit that holiday, that's when shit hit the fan. They shut down, they canceled Scalebound. It just happened right after Halo. Are we going to see a repeat that if Halo Infinite doesn't do anything this month, are they going to pivot Game Pass again? Are they going to do something crazy next year? Because after Halo Infinite, what do they have? Another year of waiting and see, and then talk about Starfield the next holiday? I bet you Starfield probably gets delayed. I'm not no insider. But Starfield might even get delayed when you're sitting here from now telling me it's next holiday. Halo doesn't even have a release date yet. So who knows what Halo comes out to be. But the thing is that will they pivot again with Halo? If Halo, and Jeff Grubb kind of says in the thing, and this again, no insider knowledge, but like, if Halo doesn't hit, what do they do again? Do they put Halo Infinite on PlayStation? I don't know. Like, do they pivot again? Because remember, Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass and remember cross-buy and all this other stuff? That was all because of Game Pass on Xbox and, the Xbox Windows 10 store. Well, when nobody was going to a Windows 10 store, what did they do? Put all that shit on Steam. Day one. Starting with Halo, Master Chief Collection. Halo is a pivot point. And I think Grubb is right in there. It makes sense. Like, if Halo doesn't hit, which they're not doing such a great job trying to make it hit.
I think it'll be pretty popular, but I don't know for how long.
That's the thing, man.
And how much content is going to be available day one. You know?
Yeah, how long?
And
pivot soft. What did Buck Rogers say? Buck Rogers said, killing off things that Xbox does best. Then they buy it and they murder it. Yeah. You know what? That's where a lot of the grinds my gears came from, because I was all in on Microsoft's ecosystems. Like, I had Windows Phone, I had the Surface, I had the Surface Book, and I just watched them just devolve Windows 8 and then into Windows 10. Windows Phone was the worst. I waited and waited and waited for apps they promised would come. The apps never came. They got rid of the phone. Like, I kind of sat through a lot of their stuff. I signed up for Groove Music.
Dude, I watched that whole Windows Phone play out because I work in the wireless industry. So
exactly.
I saw that whole Windows Phone was shit. And it never got the apps it needed to be successful.
But they had a community, though. They had a real diehard community and people, and it was a good phone too. Good hardware.
They bought Nokia and pretty much
the phones were great.
Phone business.
Those phones were bricks. Man, I had the 1650, the big red phone.
The hardware was good, but the software was lacking.
No, yeah, it was.
When you compared to Android and Apple, it didn't have the app ecosystem.
Yep.
You had to go to the web to access Twitter. I mean, it was just...
Yes, I know. And that's the thing. Like, it was basically... See you later, Sinister. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, like, hit that like button, everybody, before you head out. But exactly, like, you look at that, and again, it was there. It just never hit the growth. And Compo Smurf says the 360 was amazing, but this last decade, Xbox has put out the worst by far in gaming history. They did. And you know what's funny is that especially for a company that's banking on like backwards compatibility, they really didn't do that much last generation to even warrant anybody wanting to play their games this generation. Like, you look at what, and that's why I find it friggin' ridiculous when people, go like, Ghost of Tsushima, who wants to play that? I'm like, do you realize that these games were ahead of their time last generation? People might want to play them again on the new stuff. Like, these are not old ass games. These are not games that were missing content that all of a sudden that was shit, and now you want to play them again. Like, no.
The backwards compatibility for the 360 on the Xbox One was really poor because I wanted to play. I just thought the console was backwards compatible because I mean, ever since I've been buying consoles, when they said backwards compatible, you could just play pretty much all the games, right?
Yeah.
So when I went to go play Max Payne 3, I think it was Max Payne 3, and I couldn't play it, and I was like, huh? So the fact that you have to re-download the code with the emulator to play the game, and they had to go by game basis and make the game compatible. So the backwards compatibility is limited. So they tout backwards compatibility, but it's very limited on how many titles it even works with, and it's even less original Xbox games.
Exactly.
So the console is not even the PS4 has more backwards compatible games than the Xbox, and so yeah, even though it's only backwards compatible with the PS4 generation, it can play all of the PS4 games. The Xbox cannot play all the 360.
Well, what
games
happened
or
to
all
backwards
the original
compatibility?
games.
Remember they were adding new backwards compatibility games? They stopped it 2 years ago.
They stopped it. They shut it down.
Yeah. Well, they
So-
lied in saying that, well, they were just doing it to make sure everything works on the Series X day one. So basically, but they stopped adding more games to backwards compatibility for 2 years.
Yeah, so like it's just it's
I get nervous. That's the thing. When I see them going, knowing their history, when I see them going, doing this stuff, like I can't sit here and be like, have this confidence that they're doing the right thing, because they will kill it. Because come on, nobody, even if you're an Xbox fan, you look at Mixer, they put a whole tab for Mixer. Like their push for Mixer was just as strong as Game Pass. They got rid of their Xbox booth at all their events and made them Mixer booths. Like their Mixer push and their money that they spent was just as aggressive as Game Pass. Like it was like up your ass with friggin' Mixer advertisements.
I mean, I'm looking here. There were 2,154 games released for the Xbox 360. So over 2,000 games, but only 577 of them are backwards compatible. And then I'm trying to see for the original Xbox, it was less than that. So all this backwards compatibility talk, but there was only 42 games from the original Xbox are backwards compatible.
Oh yeah,
42
they stopped that.
games.
They stopped that.
There was
they
almost
stopped that
1,000
program.
games released for the
That was an
original
easy.
Xbox.
That was a E3 announcement.
Right. So like that shit. So when people scream about this backwards compatibility, why couldn't they make the console work with all the games?
They have to go back and do that shit. I don't know.
You can't just pop a disc in from the Xbox or the Xbox 360, right, into the Xbox One or the Series X and play it.
No, it has to be backwards compatible.
It has no.
Right?
Even if the game is on the list, you can't play it off the disc. You have to download the digital copy with the emulator from Microsoft. So that's DRM right there, because if you don't have an internet connection, you can't even play the game if you hadn't downloaded the new code. So it's not even true backwards compatibility. It's not.
No, it's not. Not with that in the original PlayStation 3.
No. What do you mean PlayStation? Like the
PlayStation 3 had the backwards compatibility actually built into it.
The original one, yeah.
Which they took out after that.
Yeah, because it was too expensive.
Exactly.
And they just realized that when they saw the percentage of people that were actually utilizing that feature, how often do people really go back and play those old games?
No. Well, that's the thing. Like, you're not going to go back and play old games just for the sake of playing old games. But if they add new content to the old games and new capabilities to the old games, then you're going to go back and play them. That's why with Ghosts and also with Death Stranding, like, they're adding content to those games to play. So it's not just saying, hey, your game just looks higher resolution, enjoy, give us your $10 or just play it again, which that's kind of what Xbox did. Like, they were just like, hey, Master Chief Collection? Well, now you can play it at 120 frames. Woo! Like, and you know what? You want to talk about upgrades? I always talk about this thing. Master Chief Collection, I bought Master Chief Collection when it launched.
Me
for
too.
$60, right? Then when
Right.
they apologized to us and they gave us ODST.
ODST.
And then they said, hey, Reach is coming. But guess what? If you bought Halo Master Chief Collection, you will get the multiplayer, but you don't get the campaign. You got to pay $10 for the campaign. But if you got Master Chief Collection through your Game Pass subscription, you get it all.
They give you. But but see, they're picking and choosing because with a game like Flight Simulator, you don't even get all the planes and all the airports on the Game Pass.
Exactly.
So
because Game Pass is sampling.
You have to pay extra.
Exactly. It's a sampling of games. It's a way to get you enticed. It's a sampling service.
I don't hear any outrage about that. And you know why? Because nobody's gonna play that game.
Nobody gives a shit. Exactly.
Well, there are people who play it, but those are super enthusiasts.
Yeah. Or they already, and those people probably already played it already, got the cockpit thing set up for their PC.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. The people that really wanted to play Flight Sim already have played it. See? That's the whole point with Game Pass. It's like, you wait to play these games in Game Pass, but guess what? The people that actually gave a shit about the game just bought it, or just played it, or got it in Game Pass before. They just did it. Same thing for some of these other games. Like, you look at even for me for Halo. Like, I'm probably gonna, if Halo's worth it, I'm gonna buy it, the campaign. See where it goes. But if the campaign gets bad reviews and stuff, then I'm just going to get in Game Pass to play through the campaign and move on, and then play the free-to-play multiplayer, which is incredible.
I'm gonna buy it.
I want to buy it, but if it's $60 and this thing is like Sea of Thieves, like content coming later, I'm not buying it.
I own all the rest of them, and I want to play through it. And I'm like, I have a Game Pass subscription just because I paid the $1 whenever they were doing that.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people did. That's why
when they did that Game Pass Ultimate conversion or whatever. But I'm so over Game Pass that I don't even want to utilize that crap. Because I'm not going to renew it, and I want to be able to own some of these games.
VFX says here, Halo YouTuber Sean W. theorized there might be just 5 maps they show at E3 for Halo and use Forge maps for seasonal content. I'll tell you, VMX, like, that's what they kind of did in Halo 5. Like, they put out a few maps from themselves, but everything else was just Forge. But they didn't say anything about Forge. And I think VS said something else before. Game Pass fails or go third party. Xbox, somebody said something to me. I forgot. A lot of good chat here. Yeah, see, he said Mixer was growing, but it's not the rate. Xbox put themselves in a position where it's either Game Pass or it doesn't, and that's the problem, Via. They went all in, and they went all in. PUBG says Pivot Soft. Guapzilla says, what does Guap say? Guapzilla, how much content can you make for a product you don't plan on actually selling? That's another good point. They already have your money. Like, how much content do you plan? You don't care if it sells. Like, how much content?
Were you talking about Halo?
Guap, were you talking about Halo or were you talking about the console?
Because I get it. I mean, I don't think Halo is going to launch with a ton of content.
No,
it's going to be a pretty bare bones game because they're talking about this 10-year plan. Well, in order to have a 10-year plan, you got to
have everything,
milk that content.
Yeah, exactly. They got everything day one. But we got more coming in 10 years. Yeah, okay.
Because kind of like when Destiny launched, the original Destiny, it was.
Oh, he was talking about Halo Infinite. He was talking about Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite, yeah. I mean,
and that's a good point.
For sure.
It's definitely a good point because, like, that's my problem. It's like, and even voting with your wallet. How do you do that when they already got your money through the subscription? Like, how do you say I don't like this game? It doesn't matter. They already got your money. You can't vote with your wallet. You can't say I'm not buying Halo. You already bought it technically if you're a Game Pass subscriber. So how do you know? How do they know that this is not what people want? The media says it, or the reviewers, Metacritic, and stuff like that. But you're right. If you're not, and I'm gonna tell you, Guap. Know what's funny? It's like, I bet you that's why Sony has to package their stuff like they're doing, because they're trying to sell you something. They got to put a price to something that they're trying to sell. If they already have your money, where's the effort to sell you something? They're not trying to sell you that thing. They're trying to sell you the subscription that contains that thing. Exactly. That's what they're trying to do. But we're gonna wrap this up, Link. So what were you saying again about the? I wanted to say, what the last thing you were saying about the Halo stuff?
You know, I expect them to give us a basic skeleton of a game, and over the next few years, kind of like Sea of Thieves.
And you're gonna buy it though?
Content until
still buy it?
Huh?
You would still
You
buy
said what
it?
now?
You would still buy it if
I'm
they
buying
said
the
that?
I'm buying the single player. I'm talking about the multiplayer.
Oh, well, that's free.
Yeah, that free to play shit. I don't like free to play multiplayer games. So,
we'll see.
It's going to be a microtransaction heavy, bare bones multiplayer game that over the next maybe 2 to 3 years is going to be fleshed out. But in the process of doing that, see, the business model is affecting the game. It's going to affect the game because they can slowly trickle content out and keep you subscribed to the service.
Yeah. Nobody believes that.
But the thing about Halo is that it's going to be free to play, so you don't have to be Game Pass member or Gold member to get it. So free to play multiplayer games are just the microtransactions and all that other stuff. I really don't care for it. So I might try it out, just to see how the mechanics work and everything like that. But I'm more or less looking forward to the single player for Halo, and hopefully, because man, if they give me another Halo 5, I don't know, I might be done forever, because that's like the only Halo campaign I haven't finished.
Dude, if they leave like a cliffhanger on that goddamn thing saying more coming out in June or something like that, or February, March, more content, oh my god, I don't know. There's a lot of question marks with a lot of this, not just Halo, but all their games. Like, what are their games going to look like? How are they going to be structured? Are they look even appealing to play? Like, there's so many question marks. But for people just to give a blanket statement going, they're incredible. They turned it around, dude. They just turned the wheel. They're waiting for the rest of the boat to turn around before they start. They got to ship this stuff. And it has to be hits in order for everybody to say they turned the boat around. Right now, they just turned the friggin' steering wheel, going, oh, you know what, guys? We're going in this direction now. They have yet to turn this whole thing. We're still in the turning process. So, good luck to them. Anyway, This has been an awesome show. I want to thank Link for coming on, man. I don't want to, keep you getting more later than what it is.
Yo, that last stream, I fell asleep.
Dude, you know what happened? I'm going to tell you a funny thing. I forgot that you were in the Discord, and after I ended the thing, I was going back to do some timestamps, and I heard this thing in the background, like, I'm like, holy crap, why didn't the chat tell me that I have this bad feedback throughout the whole show? And then I realized that you were still in the Discord and you fell asleep. And you were snoring, dude.
I was still in the Discord when I woke up, and I was like, did I fall asleep in the podcast?
Hey, it's comfy in the grind table. You sit by that fireplace talking all these topics, man. You think it's snooze, but dude, it was hilarious because I was like, oh man, I might have to delete this video because like it has all this bad feedback in it, and it was you in the thing. But I'll get you now before you don't go to sleep. I appreciate it, man. It's late, and, dude, it was an awesome show. I want to thank everybody. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you again, hitting 900 subs. Awesome. We're on the way to 1,000 at the Grindhouse. And thank you to Link. Link says, you know where you can find them. He's here, actually. I've seen. Where do you go on the other podcast?
Yeah, I hop on. I'll get on there with Sick Humor.
I thought you were on there because I heard people talking to you. I heard you were on there.
Yeah. Speak from the heart.
Oh yeah, those guys. Yeah, shout out to Persona. Those guys hit their PlayStation podcast hit like 1,000 subs, I think, over the weekend. Persona and Jabari, shout out to them.
Yeah, so sometimes occasionally I pop up on their shows.
It was the Grindstable. That's right. Like, yeah, thank you, Grinders, man. You kept it awesome. Thank you so much, chat. Hit that like button, share it out. Thank you again. We're on our way to the thousands. The pool's just getting finished up, and then we're going to put the patio out there, and we're going to be jamming. It's going to, trust me, when we get, I have some fun things, man. I'm excited about the stuff that I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But there you go. There's my hype thing. But anyway, this has been awesome. I want to thank everybody. It's such a pleasure talking to everybody. And
great show.
Yeah, great show, man. It was fun. We got all the topics. Hit that like button on the way out, everybody. And again, stay tuned to the Grindhouse. Shout out the frogs. We'll catch them on the other end. And stay tuned to Shout for more content, more Grinds My Gears, and some game streaming, which I got to do some more game streaming. That's what I got to do. But I gotta get something that's pretty entertaining. Get a pool table. All right, Buck Roger wants a pool table for the 1,000. We get a pool table. All right, no problem, big boss. Thank you again. Hit that like button. We are out of here. Thank you. Oh, and comment below. I always forget to do the comments. Comment down below. I love reading the comments. I chat with you guys in the bottom, in the comment section. So yeah, put out here. You know, I think a funny comment this week will be, give me your insider tips, any insider knowledge that you have. Let's see that we could go crazy in the comment section with the biggest rumors that you could come up with. So anyway, talk to you guys later. I'll be doing timestamps probably tomorrow because it's late now. Timestamps will be coming tomorrow, but share out the video, and good night, everybody. See ya.